Come along, Twitch. Do your thing. Let me just reload it because it doesn't look like it's fucking streaming. Click to unmute. No, I don't want to click to
Oh,
unmute.
no, jeez.
There we go. I think we go. Hello, stream.
Hello.
Oh shit, hello stream.
Don't mind the cries of the people with food in their mouth. I hope neither of them is the recap, but we'll find out momentarily. Welcome to Bela'Dun and Beyond. We have our new fancy visual, including the bottom left logo that Max is yet to see.
I have yet to see.
Yeah. I think we're just about good to go. I have toothache or mouth pain. I'm not sure exactly what it is. So when we get to any sort of combat, if any sort of combat does erupt, I'm not going to describe your attacks or the visuals of your spells. And instead, if possible, you are going to, so that I can do less talking. If that's
I
cool.
always like to anyway, so hell yeah.
Fine with me.
Lovely.
Cool.
Sounds
So, as per usual, I've forgotten music. So I'm going to try and find some music whilst you guys remind me who did the recap.
That'll be me this week.
Cool. Recap
Ah.
away.
Okay. So, last week's recap. Recap, that's a good start.
Recap!
Recap!
We're going to recap it. It's a recap.
So, the group awaken in their tent to breakfast. Vice and Nemea have a delicious omelette, courtesy of the large but not giant egg that Edison laid. Everyone else decides on a ration. And then while they're eating breakfast, they discuss their next move. A few ideas are brought up. Livia suggests returning to Major Ferdy. Vice seconds this, but Rezia is against it as she believes they haven't done enough. While there are some grunts overheard in a nearby tent. Livia excuses herself and leaves the tent to continue their discussion. Livia goes to find the source of groaning and comes across a tent with a number of soldiers, a few of them in pain. She offers her assistance, but is rudely rebuffed by one of the dwarven soldiers. Livia learns there's a mysterious illness affecting some of the camp, and that the group's tent is stationed in an undesirable location by the infirmary. Livia returns to the tent and shares what she's learned, but Erezia goes to check things out at the infirmary. She meets Avelyn, who is tending the patients but doesn't learn anything specific. She returns to the group and mentions Avelyn's name. Taryn recognizes her immediately and goes to Avelyn for a brief reunion. Erezia suggests attempting to unsettle Hauser and having Vice trail him while invisible. The group eventually agree. Nemea teaches Agatha to stand on one leg, very important.
That's not 20.
The highlight.
Very, very important. So to carry out their plan, they head towards Mess Hall, and Erezia and Vice go through their plan one more time. Erezia enters the Mess Hall and finds Hauser and shares a false rumour that the accidents relating to the Serenity Squad are being formally investigated. This unnerves Hauser, who hurriedly leaves the tent. Vice hears Erezia's signal and follows Hauser across the encampment to his significantly nicer tent, which Erezia is very upset to hear. Vice hears Hauser communing with someone, although he is apparently alone in the tent. He overhears Hauser saying words to the effect of, "They've been poking around, Hauser's going back in, and the illusion will be seen through soon." Hauser then becomes invisible and leaves the tent, heading towards the woods. Vice decides not to pursue and investigates the tent before returning to the group. Vice shares his findings while cooking lunch for the group, and over the course of their discussion, Livia storms off, apparently annoyed. Outside, she has a brief encounter with Misha, where they exchange their knowledge on weapons and show each other their weapon of choice. This is a strange encounter, but it makes Livia feel better. Erezia heads out with the rest of the group to find Livia to see what's wrong, and Livia expresses her frustration at constantly being seen as a criminal when she's nothing but helpful to everyone to me. Erezia attempts to empathise, although Livia is not quite convinced. What did I write there? I've got the wrong person there. Livia Olivia and the group get the opportunity by
Somebody's
Erezia to present their
feeling it
report to Ferdy, although they shy away from this and ask Erezia to do it instead. Erezia is still reluctant to report to Ferdy, however, decides to go along with the rest of the group as they are keen to. They report to the Major, and the Major is thoroughly unimpressed as they allowed Helga to get away. She declares that the mission is a failure, and instead assigns them a new mission to go and investigate goings on throughout the lake. After the telling off, the group head towards the mess hall. Erezia is significantly devastated and asks the mayor for the chicken for a hug. And that's where we ended.
Cool. So I have it as sort of mid-afternoon. You guys had been given this task and told to meet with Kristen to get water-breathing potions and otherwise spend/buy whatever you wanted to do. So I believe you are all collectively there when Ferdy spoke to you. What do you guys want to do?
So, we were heading towards the mess hall and we all just sort of stopped, didn't we? And I had the chicken. I think as we have to start early tomorrow, everybody, it'd be best if we go and get our provisions from Kristen now. Potions, weapons, whatever we need. And we're going to have a hard few days ahead of us, so you might as well enjoy yourselves this evening as you won't get a night off for a while.
Are you saying we can get drunk?
I'm saying you can let your hair down for a little bit without compromising yourself tomorrow morning. As you want to up,
First round on me.
and ready,
Well,
crack of dawn to head on out.
Drunk. Yes, boss. Come on, guys, let's go.
yeah. I mean,
Let's go,
I'm
let's
not
go,
the
let's
one.
go.
Just make sure that we look after.
First round on the captain, maybe.
Let's leave Agatha here for a restful night. I'll tuck her up with a big pile of seed at the back of her cage and chuck her in there with some straw.
Okay.
I tell you what, all of you head on to Kristen, and then once you've gotten your provisions, head on over to the mess hall. I'll take the chicken back to the tent, and once I've completed my business with Kristen, I'll meet you there for a drink.
Make sure you lock her and give her some seed, and then I'm gonna get a pile of seed and pour it in your hand.
Okay, of course.
I'm gonna go and remember.
Just don't throw it all over the room, because
Only crazy people would do that, wouldn't they?
Come on, let's go get drunk. Wait, let's go get our provisions.
No, get the provisions first, please.
Provisions.
I know. I don't want anyone to incapacitate themselves. Harvest.
So we can incapacitate each other. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying
I
I
feed
will
you, you feed
personally put my sword through each one of you if any of you are not at full capacity tomorrow morning.
Full capacity.
I mean,
Okay.
I don't know about you guys. I don't want to get drunk.
Full capacity. I'm going to whisper to Vice.
I want to drink.
Oh, heal us better.
Give me the chicken.
Yeah.
Go get your provisions. I'll meet you in the mess hall later on.
Okay.
Provisions.
And head towards our
Home
tent.
tent. What was it you were trying to say a moment ago, Nemea?
Just I wanted a drink, I think.
Oh, okay. I thought you got cut off before that. That's fine. So, Aresia promptly takes Agatha. I think she had her anyway. Takes the seed and heads off in the direction of
I'm going to pet her before
the home
she goes.
tent. Okay. You guys are relatively close to the mess hall at this point. You know that when you found Kristen before, he's been in the kind of northern side of the encampment, but he generally does rounds. It's relatively bright. It's early enough in the afternoon that it's still bright in the day. You can still hear the birds nearby, especially given that you're in the middle of the forest. There is a slow kind of rolling wind that isn't really bringing any kind of chill with it, but it rustles the leaves of the bushes and the trees nearby. And the four of you are pretty much collectively there, free to do what you want. As I say, Kristen's likely in the north, and you're not too far from the mess hall.
Can I just ask? Did we not get paid some money from our
did
last
give you all
our
some money,
Ferdy.
yeah.
Didn't you give us
Flat or something.
40? Was it 40 or 50 plat? I think it was.
No.
When I
Yeah,
told you
They
it,
get
it was.
flat each.
I told you the amount each. Yeah.
Yeah,
How much?
10 flat each now
10,
and 10 flat
yeah,
each
10.
after completion.
Yes.
All right,
So
that's cool.
if you didn't
Nice
have that 10
try,
plat, you
40
have...
plat.
No, I mean,
he was saying the total amount.
collectively, each.
40 plat each, yeah?
What
I
about?
mean, I would not mind that much money. Karen was very
I
sad
just
about being
don't
poor
spend
last week.
money.
So
I mean-
we all
I
got
mean-
that right now.
Yeah, I mean, you don't spend money much. Like,
No,
But-
I'm all about the people.
I give 5 pat to Livia, and
What?
I just say for the gold I owe you because I owe you 50 gold. So 5
Oh, do
pat,
you?
50 gold, isn't it? Yeah, I owe you 50 gold. So
Oh, yeah,
I've
we
been
did.
waiting
We
for
bought
Man.
something.
you totally could have kept that quiet.
No, and I mean,
You forgot.
I'm just gonna be like, are you sure? Like, I don't need it. Like, it's fine.
no, I owe you this gold.
No, but like,
Please,
keep it, and
let's
then like
have-
one
let's
day
have a
if
nice
I
time.
need it, you can help me.
I don't know. Right, okay,
Keep
we'll
it. I
start off by
don't
buying a
want
drink.
it.
Buy you a drink to start.
Okay, bear me a drink, and then I don't know. One day if I'm short 20 plat or
5
something,
plats
give
worth.
it to me.
5 plats worth of drink. Here's everything we stock.
It's just one drink, so it's just an entire fucking like barrel.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, there, darling.
Right, guys. Well,
welcome.
as Lieutenant said, let's head over to Kristen because we need to get these
Yeah, let's get our provisions so we can get on. To
potions of breathing. Sorry, or else we're going to have a really hard time.
yeah, doing the lake mission.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I am not a swimmer. You guys know this. I love.
Oh, yeah, you suck at the water.
I am terrible at swimming. So, if
Well-
anyone's terrified of this, it's me. Out of all of
I
us,
can
Can't
teach you.
relate.
you can teach me.
I'll teach you to swim. It's
Oh
fine.
god. Oh gosh. Well, I mean, I don't think there's enough time for that. Like,
Well, I'm not going to have a great time because this stuff is not, I don't know how this is all going to work.
yeah.
Clink,
Well,
clink, clink, clink.
yeah.
My grandmother taught me by throwing me in the river. You should do that as well.
We can throw you in the river.
We'll just grab him and throw him in.
I mean, I'll gladly take part in that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well,
We're all in this
we'll wait and see.
together.
Let's see. All I'm going to say is expect that I will struggle during
Nah, you'll be
That's cool. Let's just go get
fine.
those potions.
Let's go
Okay.
get the potions. We're going to go get the
Cool.
potions.
Okay. So I'll say it takes, given that you were relatively close to the mess hall and we know that it's about 45-50 minutes to the tent, it takes the time for Aresia to get back to the tent for you guys to find Kristen. So Aresia, you're free, the only one in the tent. I don't think there was anything being brought here from what I remember from last session.
No,
I think
we've
everything
already
was
got the
wrapped
page.
up.
I'm just while I'm in the tent, I'm just going to have a few minutes alone with Agatha, just having a little play.
She's trying to steal my chicken.
Okay, give me an animal handling
She's
check.
already stolen it.
Jealous of my training skills.
That I am.
Okay. So you spend some time with Agatha trying to get her to like imprint on you a little bit and like build that bond. But she seems kind of relatively indifferent by the time you leave it. It doesn't seem like much change has occurred, unfortunately. She doesn't dislike you. She's not attacking you or pecking you or anything. But there's no like clear improvement, I would say.
It's okay, little chicken. It's been a long day. And rest. Just keep stroking off her hair.
Doing that noise.
Agatha has like completely changed this group's dynamic.
Really fucked this thing here. Balls.
She's the best thing to happen to this group.
Don't mind me whilst I edit the stream slightly. Carry on.
Wow.
Whilst Aresia does this and attempts to become best buds of all time with Agatha, the rest of you reach Kristen without any real issues. What the fuck was the button to do this? I thought it was Alt. Oh, it is Alt.
Hi, Kristen. We need a bunch of water breathing potions as per Ferdy's request. We're going into the lake.
Wow, Olivia, not even a how are you?
Oh, well,
Straight in.
fuck you too, I suppose.
Overly aggressive, Kristen.
No, I'm just messing.
I've already seen you twice today, I
So
think.
he's not really noticing you as you come close round to his cart. He's kind of milling about fixing some things, and he sees you and he says, "Oh, so it was your group that accepted that in the end, was it?"
Oh, yes, indeed.
We had no choice, let's just say.
Oh, I see. Well, of all those
Very
they
exciting.
had to force into it, I suppose yours was the easiest to coerce. How many of you are going into the lake?
8.
I don't have 8 down in your group. Is that correct? You can roll persuasion if you want to try and.
No, it's fine. Oh my god, I'm just pulling your leg. There's 5 of us? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 5.
So, Kristen, could you tell us, Kristen, how do these potions work? Other than the obvious of just drinking it.
Well, oh shit! Hang on.
Do I hold my
that?
breath as I drink?
I'd recommend drinking the potion before you go underwater. Where the fuck did that go when I typed it? Let me just dig one out here, and I'll tell you what I have about it. See my information, and he opens a small container that was under some stuff. He has to move some things out of the way, but eventually gets to this small container of. You can hear the clink of various different bottles. Right, that's not what I was looking for at all. That's a spell. Oh, because I haven't put potion. One sec. You all eerily dance in front of him.
I swear I can hear some
So
nuts.
he lifts it out and he's like, "Oh, here it is," and he shows you it, and it has a kind of cloudy green liquid, and he takes the cork out of one and like leans it closer to you, and you can smell there's a sort of like an oceany smell to it. He puts the cork back on and shakes it around, and you can see that there's some bubbles that sort of weirdly flow like up and then compress and then move up, eventually bursting, and you can see others kind of doing the same. He says, as long as you are successful in drinking the entirety of this, you'll be able to breathe underwater for an hour. As I say, I'd recommend drinking it before you go into the lake. And simply just breathe like normal. It's a very strange sensation where the water will enter your lungs like air usually would. It's not comfortable, but you should adjust to it easy enough in a short space of time.
Sounds gross.
Yes,
So-
there's a few
so-
reasons most people didn't want to undergo this assignment.
Do
Okay.
you have spares? Because I don't know if we're going to get everything done. We need to in an hour.
Just thinking that.
I have 5 as per.
Oh.
Well, actually, I have 6 as per the order because at the time they weren't too sure who was going to accept this quest. I can requisition you some extras, but they've not been paid for, so you'd need to pay for them yourselves.
What, the extra ones?
Yes, you can have 6
How much are they?
that were covered
Yes.
for the mission. They
Okay.
are. It is 400 gold for one, but as it's part of the mission, I can do it at 100 gold for one. I have
okay.
somewhat of a surplus because we knew that this was going to be required.
Like how much?
I will buy an extra one.
Okay,
Really?
so he.
Here's the 100 gold.
You had enough? Bloody hell.
Since you're now purchasing 6, I mean, you all have enough because you all got given 10 plat.
Yeah, it's true.
Since you.
Yeah, but isn't it like, oh yeah,
It's 100 gold.
Yeah, I know, right? That's why.
Maths.
It's your money. If you don't want to spend it on this, that's your choice. So as you pay for the 6th one, Livia, he gives you the small container, and it holds 6. So he just hands the 6 to you and takes the coin.
Can you drink only some of
6 are
this?
for free, and I've paid 100 for an extra.
It was. Sorry, it was 6 free, and you paid. How many
Yeah.
of you are there? 5. Yeah, it was 6
Yes.
free. So he gives you the container of 6,
Yep.
and then realizes and goes, "Oh, sorry," and then hands you another one.
Okay. I'm gonna say to the other guys, guys, that's really cheap for a potion of water breathing. So even if we might need it on this mission, and even if we don't, it might be useful on a later mission at some point.
Yeah, sure.
So if you guys, I can't afford to buy you all one, but I've got me one. But you never know, a situation
No,
may
but
arise.
Didn't he say he only had an extra one, or has he got more than just one?
Now he's got a surplus of them because he knew that this mission was going to be undertaken.
He just said it like he would charge for the extras.
which is why he's charging
okay.
not full price
I
because he's
see.
got more.
I see.
I just feel like they'd be quite a handy thing to have.
From
Yeah,
your
sure.
question before, Vice, he kind of half picks up on it, and as you guys are talking amongst yourselves, he goes, "Sorry, Vice, is that right?"
Yeah, it
Yes.
is.
You asked about potentially only imbibing part of the potion. I will say that this potion and almost every potion you may consume, if you've not done so previously, won't impart its effects unless you drink it in its entirety, I'm afraid.
I see.
If we were to buy another 5, would you do us a deal for another 5? Bundle.
Yes, I suppose I could do that. Roll persuasion.
Oh God.
It
Why,
should
why,
have been,
why is it me doing this?
me, man.
Yeah, but you didn't say it.
Yeah, but you should tell me. I didn't even think about you wanting to buy so many.
Okay, so
Well,
he says to you, "Well, I'm already doing them at quite a discount to the average price for one of these. But as I say, I've come into much more stock than I was looking to have, so I do need to move them off. I could do the 5 for 450 gold instead of 500. If you're
Kristen,
bulk purchasing them."
Kristen, my friend. Kristen,
Sorry.
we've worked together many times in the past, haven't we?
I think
You know-
this is the 3rd time I've spoken to you.
Yeah. And we've done so much for this world. I mean, we've almost saved this land from a demonic force, and
Did you?
you can give us. Oh yes, you don't know what we get up to, but we need to know that you're. We need to know, Kristen, is that you're alive today because because we're here.
Just kind of looks at his hip
I
for a
think
moment
so.
to make sure he still has a sword nearby. He looks over his shoulder and sees his wife in the background, feels a little bit more comfortable that she's nearby. Certainly the fighter of the two.
You can do us a better deal than that. Come on.
Oh, I see, you're haggling. I thought you would threaten to kill me. Roll persuasion at disadvantage.
Oh dear. Persuasion, you say?
Yeah. Or intimidation if you were going to kill him. It's your choice.
Oh.
Okay. So he says to you, well, I've heard of some of your exploits. To be honest, I've mostly just heard tale of what Oresia and Astaros have done, and my understanding is that they lead this little group. So yes, they're certainly quite prominent within the military. I can't say that I've heard of any demons that you've slain in your little group here, but I believe 450 is a very good price. I can come down another 20 gold if that will seal the deal for you.
So what's that for?
30.
30.
Buddy.
For an extra 5.
Yes.
Oh,
Normal retail
430.
price of like
Yeah, like
1,500.
430. Gosh, come on.
No,
Four
like
ten.
2,000.
410. 410.
We can do the ones you already have, and you could suffocate.
dude, just buy them. It's a good deal.
Mm.
Sorry, just haggling. I thought I'd match your sort of level.
430. Well, if I give you, so what? Divide that by 4.
It's like 107.
It's like 107 each.
107 each.
And we'll get
What's
some money,
30
and I'm
divided by
sure
4?
Asteros and
7.5,
Oresia will
yeah.
give us some money if because we've bought them one each as well.
Well, okay.
Come on, it's like a plat each. We just got given 10.
Okay. Sure.
So you've already marked down the money that you spent on your extra one, Livia. How much
Yeah.
more is
How
everybody
much is a
marking
plat?
off? A plat's
much is a
one plat is 10 gold, I think.
Ah,
Yeah, one plat is 10 gold. 10
1 to
plat
10
is
for
100
everything,
gold.
isn't it?
Yeah, everything goes up by 1 and we don't do Electrum. I'm not sure why Electrum exists on those character sheets, but nobody seems to use it.
Okay, cool. I'll give him the was it 107, was it?
107 gold. And
I'm
then-
just gonna look quite sad. I'm just gonna be like, you want to just like lower the price by 100 and I won't pay.
Yep. Well, it was sort of a group deal.
I mean, just like take one of the potions off and lower it by 100.
I suppose
Like,
I can.
like 330. If that's cool.
I suppose I can be left with the one. And we can stick to this deal.
Okay. So I'm giving my 107 to Olivia.
Okay. You've
Me
marked that
too.
off your money, yeah?
I have, yeah.
I would
I've
like to
marked
keep
mine
my
off.
money very much.
Okay, cool. So then you owe something like 3 gold difference. So just knock down 3 gold, Livia, and that'll cover it. He gives you the 3
Five
potions.
More?
No, I said
12.
3 more. It's 7, 14, 21. You need to get to. It's like 9 more. You need to get to 330. Because it was 107 each. Taryn
Who's not
dropped out.
chipping in? Who's not chipping
I
in?
thought we were buying an extra 5
Yeah,
on
you're
top of the
not.
one I'd already bought. Okay,
We're
so
not
yeah, an
anymore.
extra 4. Yeah,
Yeah.
fine, extra 4, whatever.
Yeah.
So an extra 4 for
So instead of 430, it's
330.
330. Yes. So
yeah.
107
So I
is
put
incorrect.
in my 107.
Right. But 7 is
is-
incorrect. You're 9 short.
Yeah, because
Okay,
it's now
I'll give you
330.
one
It's
platinum
330 now,
piece.
isn't it?
Wait, is Nemea, are you giving us one? You haven't said anything.
She already did.
yeah, I did. I said I had.
Oh.
I feel like you're not hearing everyone. Taryn, did you just say you put in a plat to cover it?
I will put in that one plat to cover it.
Cool.
Just be like, don't worry, it's cool. I'm just holding out on my potion, the extra one.
That's fine.
So we've got 11 potions in total. I had 7, and then we bought an extra 4.
You've bought 3. No, did you buy? Sorry,
Yeah,
it
we
wasn't
bought
No,
4.
we
were
got
gonna buy
given
5.
6. I
it's
bought 1,
Yes,
then we
yes,
bought
yes,
4
it's
more.
It's 4. But Aresia
Okay.
hasn't paid for her remaining one. God, I should have written this shit down. This is why people have computers they can tap into when they're bloody doing retail. So, Taryn, as you hand him the extra plat, he goes, "Oh, thank you," and hands you back a gold.
Okay, so I'm going to give 2 potions to Taryn,
Okay.
2 potions to Vice,
Okay.
2 potions to Nemea.
Mhm.
2, 4, 6. And then I will keep the last 5. 2
Okay.
for me, 1 for Oresia, 1 for Asteros, and then potentially another one for Oresia if she wants it, or Asteros. So I'll just hold the remains. But I've
Okay.
given them everything they've paid for.
Yeah, I mean, you'd given Taryn one more than he paid for, but that's fine.
Yeah, I know, it's fine.
Okay. Whilst you're here, if you've got the coin, I've got quite a large selection of wares. I've recently had some restock. It took a while. I'd imagine this is likely the last of what we'll see before we move deeper into the forest.
What did you get new in? Anything
You want
not
the
standard?
specials list? I have
Yeah,
some
essentially,
slightly
there's
more
something
obscure
unusual.
potions. What's your price range?
Me, basically nothing. I just spent all my money on potions. It's up to you guys.
Okay.
Do you purchase? Do you buy goods as well?
Yes, depending on the goods. I've not much need for everyday standard military assortments, but I can take them off your hands for a slight sum. If you have something slightly more interesting, then I can do that.
No, I'm just wondering. That's all it was. I was going to sell him my basic sword.
He's happy to buy it from you if you want to sell it to him.
He might.
I just don't have any need for it, to be honest. It's just on me, and
I want to go up, tap shoulder on the vice, and just say, "Don't worry, I unbearably sold him 2 crappy daggers. Just do it. Just do it."
okay. Would you buy this rapier from me, Kristen? And I pull it out and I show it to him.
Which point do you give him? The sharp end or the handle? I'm sorry. Are we haggling again?
Can you take this for me? Shink.
No, I pull it out whilst it's sheathed, and I'm just holding it like this.
He lifts it up, takes it from you acceptingly. He's like, "Oh, it's slightly weathered, but certainly a fine rapier nonetheless. I can give you 20 gold for it."
Yeah, sure, why not?
Do you have
Why
the
not?
scabbard that it came in?
Yeah, hang on 1 second. Just looking for it somewhere. I mean, it's somewhere in here. 1 second. And I move all my pots and my pans and my. 1 second. I'm
It's
sure I'll
like,
find it.
without you realizing, it's been slowly getting shoved aside, so eventually it was kind of wagging behind you like a tail. You kind of spin the belt around and find it, unclip it, and hand it to him.
Turns out
There
he
we
was
are.
never kicking up the grass. It was the sword all along.
Here we are.
As you do this, he takes the scabbard from you, slides the rapier into it, and puts it aside. He hands you the 20 gold, and he says, "A slightly unique weapon that you have there, Vice. I've not seen a sword such as that before. You're having to carry it everywhere, are you? It doesn't look as though you have a scabbard to fit it."
Which one are we talking? Are we talking about the clockwork?
Your clockwork saber is a wider blade, and
Yeah.
you didn't find it with a scabbard, I don't believe.
No.
So you probably would have had to have just had it sort of like wedged behind your backpack a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
not very easy to carry on your waist without a scabbard, and it's
Sure.
potentially cutting things back there. You don't know.
Mm-hmm. This. Well, I found this quite some time ago. Or was it actually? Now that I'm thinking about it, was it like a reward?
I don't remember.
I'm sure it was a reward.
I thought you found it.
I thought you
No,
found
you
it.
found it in the. I'm pretty sure. You know where you
Dungeon.
fought that on Scorpion that one time.
Yeah,
In
I
fact, no,
think
that
it was in the pile with the slime.
Yeah, it was.
Oh god, PTSD.
Well,
Is it?
Got two things, I
I
remember.
think so. I should
No,
start
I can
putting the
always-
location that you find things on
mean, we
the
should.
handout.
Yeah.
I should start writing it down as well. Oh yeah, I mean, I found it along one of our journeys, and it's proven to be quite a trustworthy companion. Myself.
Do you have like a hand axe or anything like that about you? Because I've got a slightly wider sort of longsword scabbard here, and if we were to take the end off it, it would serve as a perfectly good scabbard for that blade, if I'm eyeing it up correctly.
Hand axe, you say?
Or just something. I can fetch something if you don't have anything yourself, or all the rest of you, and he kind of motions
mean-
to the rest of you.
No, I mean, I don't have anything like that, I'm afraid.
Okay. Would you be interested in a scabbard for a blade such as that for a gold? And I can have it. I can shape it quickly for you now.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Why not? I should.
He takes out a scabbard from the back of the cart and then goes over to his wife, who's kind of sitting on a stump in the background. Puts it down in front of her, and kind of motions to something. She picks a hand axe up nearby and slams it down on the scabbard and essentially lops the end off because the blade you have is quite long. Ow. So he lops it off, comes back over to you, hands it to you. It's a little bit imperfect at the end, but it's a very clean cut. And when you put the clockwork saber into it, it does slide all the way down to the end of the hilt, and you can see the blade poking from it, but it does mean that you can wear it on your waist as a result.
Wonderful.
Oh, thank you, Tristan.
Thank you.
Kristen. You
Kristen.
are. I don't
Kristen,
know which one it is. If I just say both, then I'm right once.
I prefer it if you just remembered my name, but that's fine, I suppose.
Kristen.
Yes, I can arrange all sorts of items if you have it in your mind. You could request it. I could look into having it made if I don't have something that matches it at the moment. There's a number of mages in the military again now, and some of them are capable with enchantments and.
Oh, do you know
the like.
anyone who's specifically good at enchantment? Maybe someone who would train or sell enchanting wares, perhaps?
Well,
I'm going
certainly
to elbow Nemea, like,
no wares, nobody trading in wares such as I do, but I am aware of a dwarven fellow in the military, a slightly older fellow, goes by the name of Buxom. And-
Boxum.
Buxom.
Boxum.
Okay.
Boxum.
Yeah, if you could type it, that'd be great.
And he would be able to assist you in with any sort of enchanting endeavor. He usually does work for me.
Oh, brilliant. That's.
I don't know if he teaches. I doubt it.
Do you know where this man is?
Somewhere in the camp, but no, I don't know
around.
his specific location at the moment, I'm afraid.
That's fine. We're a bit
Thank
busy
you.
this evening and tomorrow. I'm gonna look at Nemea, but I'm sure we can hunt him down the next few days.
Certainly.
Brilliant. Is there anything else any of you want? Because otherwise, I'm ready to move on to our next agenda.
Anything requisitioned? I don't mind.
I'm just sort of stood there, mumbling to myself, looking like I'm trying to figure out something. But
Is that a no? Do you need anything requisitioned?
give me 3 days, and I'll figure it out.
I mean, you don't have to
off.
say yes.
Yeah, that's so 3 days and he'll figure it out.
Okay, well, we'll come
I might
back.
not
to you.
figure it out, but I'll try.
Sure. Kristen, whilst we're on, the subject, would you mind keeping a lookout for any kind of cookery or culinary books?
Cookery
your-
books,
Yes, cookery or culinary books.
recipes and the like.
Yes, please. Would you mind keeping an eye out for something like that?
Yes, I can do that. I think I might have a quick recipe here. It's not a whole book, mind. And he goes into a chest, opens it up on the cart, and you can see that it's predominantly papers. And as he lifts one out, he has you can. You're really the only one properly looking, Vice. Can you roll perception for me? Okay, you can see as it unfurls slightly, he seems to have some sort of 5th level spell scroll. It starts describing what looks to be a particularly powerful spell from like some of the imagery you catch, and then he takes a piece of paper out and he goes, "Oh, here you go. I'm not sure if you've done something like this before," but he hands you a piece of paper, and it essentially details how to make like a very well presented. It has a small image in the center of the page, and it pretty much describes like a sourdough piece of bread with 2 poached eggs on it with like a hollandaise sauce over the top.
Oh,
And it lists all the ingredients and it tells you how to make all of those things.
That is a great meal.
Interesting. Okay. How much would you be willing to let go of this for?
Oh, the silver, it's just a piece of paper to me. I'm not much of a cook myself.
Fantastic. There you go. Thank
An
you. I'll take
egg
that.
recipe, Vice. How?
I know. How perfect could it be, right?
Perfect.
I mean, it just
Poached
seems like,
eggs.
you know, it was
It was meant to be.
placed. It was meant to be. Sure. Let me give you a silver then.
So,
Kristen?
is there anything else you guys want whilst you're here? Anything you want to set
No,
up?
I'll
No?
ask
Keep-
box of
mhm.
that.
Okay. What did you say, Nemaya?
I was just gonna ask Buxom for gems
Oh, okay, cool.
when we find it.
Yeah, that's fine. So you guys head off to the mess hall, and it's about the time that you reach the mess hall. And let me just shove the time forward here. It's about the time that you reach the mess hall that Aresia, you reach Kristen.
Good afternoon, Kristen.
Oh, hello, Lieutenant. I saw your squadron not too long ago.
Oh, good. Have they bought their provisions, collected their potions?
Well, they didn't buy food and the like, but I suppose, unless it was properly protected, something like that would spoil going under the water. But yes, they did. They did collect the water-breathing potions that have been requisitioned for this task, and the nice lady, I forget her name, she purchased a few extras. I think everyone put in some coin. She may well have some for you, actually. I've only got one left here, though. If you are interested, you can purchase it.
We had about 5 potions. That was what I was on the.
That's
The
right.
impression?
Yes, there was 6 that was assigned. But my understanding is that there's 5 of you, and I don't think they know how deep the lake goes. So perhaps an hour may not be enough. I'm not certain. Maybe there's something down there to be found that may require somewhat longer. Though to be honest, if you go down for an hour and you've not surfaced to drink another, you're going to find yourself in a bit of a difficult situation, trying to drink the other one as it dissipates into the liquid around you.
Yeah. So, how many potions have they acquired in total?
Oh, let me check my ledger. He looks at some paper and comes back and says 11. I'm sure it's supposed to be 10, but we'll go with 11.
Oh, it's 11. We got the 6 for free. I bought 1 extra, and then I bought
Oh,
4
That's
more.
fine. I'm not looking to go through it again.
Why? Well, I feel like sometimes this group assumes they're going to fail.
Well, perhaps they are planning overly well, but yes, I'd say that they didn't come across as confident as many of the other soldiers do when they come across me. To be honest, I'm usually dealing with far more boisterous custom. I don't tend to mind when they come around. Although that Vice, he's certainly a threatening fellow.
No.
If that's his
is really
last name,
confused.
certainly he drives a hard bargain.
The bard he carries a lute and an
Yes.
awful lot of kitchenware.
Yes, he had quite a lot of crockery around his waist. Strangely so, but
Did he threaten you?
no, I believe it was all in good fun.
Do I need to get involved? Do I need to have a word with him, Kristen?
No, certainly not, Lieutenant. Simply maybe suggest that he's not so armed or upfront when he tries to create an arrangement with me. It's fine. You don't need to say anything. It's fine.
Did he try and have you with you?
Yes, but most do. That's not a problem.
I know what happened. I know what happened. My apologies. He means well. He means well.
I assumed so.
Right. Well,
I give up.
I picked up the extra potions and there's the one left. I might as well purchase it. I take it this is one spare and not one of the ones that was left aside for us.
This is the last of the stock that I have of the water-breathing potions, but out in the forest we don't have much call for them outside of when they were requisitioned for this task. They brought me somewhat of a surplus, thinking that I could sell them on and bring profits back, but they've not sold at all, to be honest with you. I've been selling them at 100 gold a piece rather than the 400 they usually retail at in the city.
For a potion.
For this specific potion, yes, I have cheaper potions and more expensive potions. It depends what you're after. I will say, though, Lieutenant, that it did seem that perhaps they had you covered, but I can't say that I'm certain their intentions.
I'll discuss with them. I'll do me a favour, will you? Will you leave that to one side? I'm sure they're not in demand, as you say, but if you could just leave it for me until tomorrow morning.
I will do. That's not a
hear from me.
problem.
Lovely. Well, while I'm here, what I do want to do is I need to get a few provisions from you myself. So if you have a few minor healing potions that I can purchase from you.
Yes.
few healing-
I have a mixture of healing potions, all the way up to superior healing potions. Your standard healing potions will run you 50 gold a potion, and that's 2d4 plus 2 healed.
Okay, the standard. Now, for a lieutenant on a budget, what can you do for me?
What didn't we say that there was already a discount with Kristen? What was the discount?
Cool.
I don't
It was a long time ago.
remember that.
The only discount I've ever remembered from a shop is the rations, like the 3 for something.
That was
or
just
whatever.
something we brewed
Yeah,
for the
that's
sake
the
of
only
making
discount
rations
that comes to
easier.
mind.
I'm sure we
I
discussed.
thought Aresia might have had a discount, but I don't remember us ever getting one.
Okay,
No.
that's fine. No worries. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. It might have been something that I planned to do and then didn't do. Well, I have greater potions for 300 gold. When you say that you are perhaps on a budget, how much of a budget are we talking?
Listen, Chris, you know my line of work, and you know that every day I'm having to go out there and put my neck on the line for this country. I have very little gold as is, and what gold I have, I need for food and basic provisions to get me through these missions so that I can do my job to the best of my ability and keep this country safe. Now, the absolute bare minimum I can spend, the better, as I'm sure you can appreciate.
Sorry, it's just that it seems that everybody in the military is generally doing the will of Stalvin, and that
They all have the same troubles that I do.
yes,
So I
and
imagine they all
also
are.
the mess hall does allow for quite a lot of catering, so I wouldn't imagine unless you're out for long that food is something difficult to come by.
If the answer is no, let's just not beat around the bush here.
How much gold do you have, Lieutenant?
I have a long way. Listen, I have not got enough. All right, I need to make it last. I have some drinking I need to do this evening, and I need it for that. Right? So let's just
A true
let's get down to it. Let's forget the potion for now. What I am going to need is I'm going to need some tinker's tools. What have you got for me in the line of thread or materials or any actual small tools that I can use on my equipment to enhance them? What have you got for me?
I can provide you an entire Tinker's Tool kit for 50 gold.
50 gold. And what's included in this kit?
Everything you would need to create. Are you looking for more upkeep of clothing and the like, or are you after sort of an attempt at creating objects and more engineering?
What I have here, Kristen. I already have some tinker tools in my inventory, and I'm going to open them out
You
for
have
him.
a small sort of box-like kit, and it has kind of like copper tubing and screws and the like.
Okay. So, Kristen, what can you add to this? I don't necessarily need a full kit. You can see I have a basic one here. What can you add to this?
Have you used it ever?
I've made lockpicks once.
Okay, my understanding of toolkits is that they have 10 uses. If you
Tell me that ever.
Huh?
You haven't told me that ever.
Yeah, I think that's how they work. I don't think we used one. I don't think we used one use when you made those lockpicks, because you used metal that was like external. I can't remember what it was, but you like
Nails.
nails. Yeah,
didn't
you like hammered down nails or something like that. How many uses Tinker's tools? I'm almost certain that all of the like kits and tools have 10 uses, but let me just check. I don't know.
Stone in there.
Blah, 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 blah. It doesn't say. I'm going to go with what I have in my head, which is all kits can be used 10 times. Whether that's right or not, feel free to let me know, people of the world. But for now, we'll say it's 10 uses. You still have 10 uses on that one. So as you show this to him, he basically looks at it and moves aside some pieces and sees that you have everything. It's kind of just like, well, Lieutenant, this is somewhat stocked, to be honest with you. I don't think there's much I could add to this at all. I could provide you extra, but it
Would I have
seems
a
you're...
whetstone in that, Josh?
Say that again, sorry?
Would I have a whetstone in there?
I'd say you have the tools to fashion any passing stone into a usable whetstone with Tinker's tools.
Okay, a bit vague. We'll need to clarify what's actually in there. Okay, well, we're not
Does
getting
it
anywhere with
say
it.
thieves' tools, artisans' tools? No, it doesn't. It doesn't say in the player's handbook specifically what's in it. There's some like conjecture online about what likely makes it up, but I mean, generally, if you're trying to do something specific and you tell me you have Tinker's tools to attempt that, I'm probably just going to bend it towards you as much as I can until it becomes unrealistic. So it depends on what you want it to do, but certainly in terms of Tinker's tools, it sounds as though you have what you need.
Kristen, the day is getting on. 25 gold. 25 gold right here. Now, don't make a fool of me. What can get me here to help me on my journey?
Okay, Lieutenant, I appreciate your honesty and your
This poor guy.
forthrightness. I can do you... You're not spell casting inclined, I believe.
You know I'm not. No, I'm just...
I could
I have
do
my
you...
swords. They're well equipped. They're well taken care of.
I could do you some
just-
interesting ranged ammo. I could get you some spell scrolls for your companions if you needed. I could do you a potion of climbing with a slight discount. Can't imagine that's wholly useful underwater if that is where you're going, but that's what we're dealing with nonetheless. I have... He's kind of looking through his ledger in the back of his cart as he looks at this stuff. We're not dealing with a pile of coin here. He speaks to himself as he's looking through things. I have some food replacements in the form of these beads, and he shows you a small little bead.
What are these beads?
Well, I have two types. There's the bead of nourishment and a bead of refreshment. I'm not too sure how they work. I would need to read the paperwork that I had with them. Bead of nourishment. Where the fuck's it gone? Here it is. Bead of nourishment. Blah, 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 blah. Provides you as much nourishment as 1 day of rations. But is a tiny bead, so it doesn't take up as much space as rations. Although this is far more expensive than a portion of rations. And the bead of refreshment dissolves into liquid, transforming up to a pint of the liquid into fresh, cold drinking water. It has no effect on magical liquids or harmful substances such as poison. So you could turn like shitty water that might make you a bit ill into perfectly good drinking water with the bead of refreshment. And the bead of nourishment just serves as like a tab that you can eat for a day's rations.
How much is that?
Those either of those would be 25 gold.
Each. Damn, boy.
Yep. I mean, you're not there, but yes.
I know. I know.
It doesn't say beads. It doesn't say like little bag of beads. It just says
yeah.
bead.
I appreciate you're a businessman, but you're bleeding me dry here.
Well, I don't mind taking 5 gold off the price if it means that you're in a more satisfied disposition.
That only for one of them.
Yes, at that price, yes.
Can't do that. Listen, all right. Let's have a look here.
Let me just change the session plan for futures, like future missions, so that there's more money available.
Yeah, you have given me a lot to spend here, man. Okay, so I went a bit Welsh there. We are
My terrible Welsh accent's rubbing off on you.
4. Okay. How much are your rations, Kristen?
We can do.
Not we can do. It's a straight question. It's a straight answer. Come on, I'm not haggling with you. I'm just asking for facts.
God.
How much do you sell your rations for?
How much can I sell them for?
Kristen, I swear to God, I will make sure you are. You'll be out of this job. Stop it.
They are 4 silver for 1. I can do them 1 gold for 3.
1 gold for 3.
So is the entire point of the bees just so that it's smaller then?
I think so. The one that feeds you 1 day's worth of rations is just going to be that it's small, which
You know
seems
what?
like a waste. I suspect
Such
the
a
weight
big
plays,
waste.
but like 5e is supposed to have a weight thing that just nobody follows. We follow it in the form of like you can't be over the top ridiculous. But I'm not going to stop you carrying around like 20 rations or something like that in a giant fucking backpack. They're like the size of a piece of bread. You're basically carrying a loaf of bread.
Just don't be Doom Guy shoving 20 swords just somewhere that we can't see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your basic? We'll go back to the healing potions. What is your basic starter healing potion? Basic.
Those are 50
I don't
gold,
understand why I can't
Lieutenant.
get a straight answer out of you, though.
Those
Oh,
are 50
I'm
gold,
getting
Lieutenant, for a
Yes, but
potion of healing.
all right. And what? How much does that heal me? Does it give me full health if I'm at death's door? Does it get me halfway there?
That will heal you slightly, depending on the effect of the ailment that you've undergone. It's 2d4 plus 2.
I tell you what, here.
This
Listen, this
poor
is what
guy.
I'll do. 50 gold is a tall order.
It's standard place,
I will-
but
Listen to me. I will give you 75 gold for 2, and I will buy you and your lovely wife a drink.
roll persuasion.
Oh my god.
Is she lovely?
He is,
That's the
I'm
real-
trying to get discounted potions.
I'd imagine he thinks his wife is lovely.
As he should.
Almost with like a modicum of pity at this point at somebody of your rank going to these depths to make such arrangements. He gives you the 2 potions. You said 75 gold, yeah?
75 2, and I buy him and his wife a drink.
Okay, so he gives you the 2. He takes the 75 and he says, do you know what, Lieutenant? Next time we're both free and in the mess hall, the drinks are on me. And then he hands you the 2 potions. I assume you hand him the 75 gold.
I do.
Begrudgingly.
I'll just take the potions from him and just. What? I mean, that's a very charitable offer.
No, it's fine. You've served your time a while in the military. I respect what you've done for Stalvin. I hope these serve you well.
Well, I appreciate the potions. We'll just discuss the drink another time. Although, I have some coin. I'm just being clever with it. I'm not poor.
Oh no, certainly, Lieutenant. I wouldn't think to question you. I'm sure you're quite wealthy.
I'm not sure I like your tongue. Listen, I'll take the potions. Thank you. I'll liaise with the others about what they purchased, and we'll leave it there.
Can you roll perception, Aresia?
She at this point realizes that it's past nightfall.
Perception.
Eons have spanned.
I'm here last night.
Okay. You think you
Check it
hear mention of Vice once more, as it seems Kristen says something to Ezekiel as you walk away, but you don't fully catch their discussion as you head towards the mess hall. I'm going to close these PDFs. Okay, so you all have made it to the mess hall. Oresia is currently not near you. What do you guys want to do?
Actually mumbling, but following everyone to wherever they're going to sit.
Good.
I am
Oh.
scared about.
Scared about what?
What?
Nemea? She is
No.
not coming through at all.
She has cut out. She can't hear you guys.
Oh, okay. Can you ask her what she said she was scared of?
I'm nervous because I'm scared about going to the lady.
The one who
Oh, the
hates
lady.
people coming in with chickens.
I couldn't hear exactly. The lake.
Okay.
Nervous about the lake.
It's relatively busy, I would say. There's some people stopping off for what is likely their last meal of the day. And you guys know that you're at least sort of an hour-ish ahead of Aresia, depending on how long her conversation with Kristen takes. Not that you knew she was going there, to be fair. 3 days pass by the time she arrives.
What does it look like when we look inside?
So it's busy enough, but there is a couple spaces. You could probably get a whole bench to yourself. If you sort of waited 5 minutes for like 1 or 2 people to get up, you could take a bench.
I will do that.
That's fine.
Sure.
Tanika, the half-elf girl, is still there. She's serving people and serving drinks. It doesn't seem to be that alcohol is the standard, but you've come across that before. She doesn't throw you any daggers, Noea. I'm not sure if you can hear us, but as long as you don't have a chicken, she doesn't seem to mind.
I can do now.
Good. She doesn't seem to mind you here at all. That's not the case for everybody else in this tent, unfortunately, and you do get a couple of looks of the same sort of, well, how can I describe it? The same sort of like unhappiness in your general presence that you have experienced in the past. Amy raises a good point. Who's doing the recap for next week?
I think it's Olivia. I was after Olivia. I mean,
Yeah,
Seven.
Olivia.
Sorry.
I mean, you guys
think
can be like, yeah, Olivia, but you all owe me like 20 sessions each. So
Oh, come on!
don't get too
Come
slimy
on.
now. Yeah, it's fine. I'll do a second.
No
So
worries.
far, we went shopping.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
easy
I
so
wrote
far.
down some stuff anyway, just in case. I was writing down.
You see somebody that you recognize, Vice and Livia, but you don't know him by name. A slightly more... He has kind of a loose, almost oriental robe over the top of his armor, and he seems to be wearing kind of medium weight armor. Tiefling girl. Nemea, you see a Laylor. You recognize him from Serenity Squad, and he is one of the people that's giving you a bit of a shittier look.
I look away.
He,
I'm just here to have a good time, have a drink.
as you look away, you can feel he's almost like grins at the fact that you've like shied away from him a little bit. And you all collectively head in, I assume.
Yeah.
After a few
Yes.
moments of standing around, Tanika kind of passes you by, and she just kind of goes, "Take a seat. I'll be with you in a moment," and heads back behind one of the benches. 2 of the people that were stopping you from having a full bench to yourself eventually get up, and you're able to sort of swoop in and take that.
Oh gosh, I think we've earned, kind of earned this drink
Yeah.
tonight, guys.
Earned this drink.
Yeah, definitely need one. And to be honest, I'll be damn happy, even though I can't swim and I hate the water. I'll be damn happy to leave this place, even for just a day. I'm sick of this freaking camp.
I'm still mumbling a small bit, but I break that mumbling and I pull out one of the potions. So I'm like, have another one, and I go back to mumbling again.
Nemea, can you
Okay.
keep an eye on this one?
Which
that he
potion?
doesn't
Sorry, Taryn.
become
Of
paralytic.
course.
Water breathing one.
You open it and
No, I hand over one to Vice.
oh,
I
okay,
say,
cool. So you give one of yours to Vice. Fair enough.
Another one. Oh my gosh. Like, you don't need this, Taryn?
I have magic.
Oh yes, of course. You have the ability to breathe underwater, don't you? Already.
I'm mumbling again, so I'm sort of half ignoring you now.
Okay. Well, yeah, okay. Fine, rude. I will continue to. I will just take it because I know my limits.
Tanika comes past at this point and just says to you, "Oh, yeah, I mean, you can drink your own potions if you want. Is there something I can help you
Oh
with?"
no, we would love a drink. We are quite thirsty.
Simple refreshments, or are we providing you something more
It's a treat.
enjoyable?
You know? Yeah, it's treat night, you know?
Just some water for me, please.
That's fine. Yes, I think I've
Go back
got
to
some.
mumbling.
They have sort of like a coin slot system.
How big is the coin?
Oh,
Tanika?
it's not too big, somewhat shiny.
I'm gonna pass her to Silver. I don't know what she wants.
What's
Yeah,
this
yeah,
world's
yeah,
equivalent
I
of
mean-
like a margarita, a cocktail thing?
I think you're in the wrong place.
Do they not exist?
It's not that they potentially don't exist. It's more that you're not going to get one in a military encampment in the middle of the forest.
Ah,
You never know how creative some military.
Some scrappy wine will probably be what's up for grabs, or maybe
We have to wait until we
tougher
get to a big
spirits.
city, Mayor, for
okay, that's
Yeah.
that's
to enjoy
fine.
the
Something a
nightlife
bit more
of
fruity.
Before you're
places like that.
incarcerated.
Yeah,
We're in a forest. I didn't know if there'd be trees. Maybe they were making something.
grabbing some mints and making a
Yeah.
mojito.
There's almost certainly trees, but whether or not they are capable of a mojito, you'd have to ask, I suppose.
Hang on, do I have mint? Hang on, do I have mint?
She takes your silver, Livia.
I do have mint.
She takes your silver, Livia, and
Yeah.
basically just waits and says, for the whole group, bar this gentleman.
Oh yes. I don't know what she wants.
Is that not enough, Tanika?
She
How
leans
much
into you, Vice, and she just goes, "Well, strictly speaking, we don't really stock alcohol for free consumption, so
I'll just give her 7.
silver."
5 more. Yeah. So
Okay.
she's got 7 total. Is that enough for everyone for a round?
She looks at you slightly disappointed and just kind of goes, "It'll do," and like slides it off the table into a side pouch, and then after a while brings back 3 beers
Cool.
Okay,
and a
fantastic.
water.
I will
Bloody
start
hell,
drinking.
Lydia, what does she want? Like, why don't you just say?
I don't know. I get it. They don't want to be like, yo, beer for
No, but I
20
mean,
gold. But like,
I mean,
just
why
say
would-
what you want.
why is everyone so cryptic in this place? Like,
They're all
God.
doing it.
God.
They're all doing it.
oh, we haven't even
A
started
couple
drinking yet.
people surrounding you get up and leave as you're having this conversation. There's 2 people that get up and leave. That guy that you passed that you half recognize, the one with the sort of more orientally, not kimono, but like almost samurai-esque covering over the top of his armor, comes and sits next to your group. And how are you guys seated? If it's 4 people,
Wine, anyone? And I just immediately go get some wine.
So I'd like to think that we were kind of like in our. Well, there was only 3 of us, right? There's 4 of us, so I would have thought that we would all kind of just clump together as a pack on the end, and then there would be like 2 seats
so
on the end.
it's like this shape of
We're
benches.
at like a bench.
There's like that.
Yeah. So wait, that. Oh, that's. Oh yeah.
Those
that's
are the
bench.
benches.
Yeah, so I figured that we'd be
This is the bench that's
like
free.
this. Oh,
So
Yeah.
who's who?
I
Sure,
will go
I-
here. Oh wait, that's
Okay.
S for Sevi. Sorry. L.
I'm going to delete this whole thing. I just need to know who you are. Come on.
Yeah. I'll probably be next to her.
Okay.
Oh, I'll be
Nice.
opposite her then, over here. In the corner.
You're not helping,
No.
Sevi. Taryn, where are you?
sorry.
In the corner?
I was gonna say I would just be next to her because where is the door?
Here.
Considering. Yeah, I would just sort of walk over and follow. Especially because the last time.
Okay, so put Vice opposite me and Taran next to me.
Yeah, put me there.
Cool.
I'm there.
I'm
And
gonna
I'm
delete this whole thing.
part
It's
of
a
least
mess.
There you
resistance.
go.
so I'll be
Thank you.
there.
So this guy comes over and sits next to you, Taran, and leans into you and just goes, "Seems like you've got the right idea, but maybe you should get the others to quiet down a little bit before I have to put a stop to this whole setup here."
I'm continuing to mumble.
So you're just ignoring him?
Do any of us hear this?
No, he kind of says it under his breath to Taran. He nudges you, Taran, and just goes, "Something wrong with you? You taking some hits to the head or something?
Hell, what?
Tell your
Oh, hi.
friends to keep it down."
Why?
He gets up, heads over to Tanika. He, like, exasperated, slightly goes... He gets up, goes over to Tanika. They have some sort of conversation, and then he leaves.
Do we
I'll just
notice
turn over
what that was
towards
about?
Olivia, and I'll just go, weird guy. Don't know what he wanted.
You all
What do
see
you
this
mean? What did he
man
say?
seemingly speak to Taran and then speak to Tanika and then leave.
He wanted everyone to quiet down. I don't see why. Everyone else is talking. But weird.
What, he just said be quiet?
Said we need to quiet down. Otherwise, something. I don't know. I didn't hear that bit.
Okay.
That doesn't
All right.
go well.
Everybody else in here, and like I said, it's relatively packed. They're eating their meals, they're drinking their drinks. Most of them seem to just be drinking water. I'd say as you look around, and maybe Livia, because of your passive perception, nobody's drinking alcohol. It all seems to be military-style rationing,
Yeah.
wartime. Any of the time that you've tried to get alcohol here before, Tanika's done it on the sly, and has taken coin for it.
So
that's
I'm
generally
getting the
setup.
impression that like we probably shouldn't be drinking or be more discreet about it.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say.
So given that, I'm going to basically say it to the guys, be like, I feel like maybe he's trying to tell us that we should stop being so like forthcoming about us all drinking, perhaps.
Well, I'm
Doesn't
totally
seem
done
like
with my
anyone else
drinks.
is.
I just want water.
Darren's
Yes,
only been
but
drinking
we're
water the whole
not.
time. Arestia, you show up about this time.
Okay. So
You do pass one guy as you are about to go in, seemingly pissed off. You recognize him to be a... Say that again, sorry?
sorry, do I know him?
You recognize him to be a chief sergeant. Roll history. We'll see how much you know about him.
This will explain why we recognize him.
I'm pretty sure my history is.
Well, you weren't there, Taryn, but Livia and Vice bumped into this guy previously.
Right.
Okay, so you don't know him by name, Arestia, but you recognize the guy from around the camp, and you remember his rank to be chief sergeant. So you outrank him, but
I'll just, as he walks past me, I'll just say, "Everything okay there, friend?"
Certainly, Lieutenant. Enjoy your evening. And he carries on walking.
Odd. So I'll walk into the mess hall and just want to quickly survey the scenery.
Okay, everyone's kind of sitting to themselves a little bit. There's a fair amount of conversation going on between different people across the benches. Given the layout, there's about kind of 15-ish people here, maybe a few more. You've noticed your group in the far right corner, like we drew previously, and there is a couple missing seats nearby that group, which is kind of uncharacteristic. And you see Tanika approaching them before seeing you, and then she just kind of goes like, "Ah," and then comes sort of half running over to you, Arestia, and she just goes, Lieutenant, a word, if that's okay."
Certainly.
My understanding is that you're in control of the squadron over there, and she kind of half motions to them.
Yes, I oversee that group.
Yes, Chief Sergeant Leonte mentioned that they were talking quite loudly and surrounded by quite a number of the rest of our fellows here about, and she leans in close to you and she goes, "Some of the less agreed upon arrangements that we have in the hall?
Oh. Care to elaborate?
Well, as you know yourself, Lieutenant, a lot of drinks are available if you have the coin, but strictly we serve water and, when we have it, some fruit juices, and of course the food. But any sort of imbibement outside of that is strictly prohibited, especially during this sort of endeavour by the military. What we have in all of the barrels, and indeed some that you have sampled yourself, is generally not shared out amidst the populace, nor generally shared out and then boasted about. I would take it as a kindness, if you would perhaps have them leave.
Listen, Sneaker. Am I to understand that they didn't pay for the beverages they're consuming?
No, there has been some agreement, but generally the idea is to cover the cost of providing these drinks and generally go along with things like you have in the past.
Tell me, Tanika, if this group asked to purchase a beverage, they gave you the coin, and you sold them said beverage, I fail to see the problem.
Well, we don't stock the kind of beverages that they're claiming to be drinking. How they've come across them, I certainly wouldn't know.
Tell you what, Tanika, come with me. Let's head over to the bar and consider all the whatever your area is, and we'll continue our conversation there. And while we're there, I'm going to give you a few coins, and you can give me water.
Okay. She goes over with you to that area. You give her... How much do you give her?
I am going to give her 2 gold.
Okay. Lieutenant, you can certainly have whatever you want. What kind of drink are you after?
I will trust your judgment, but what I would like is the effect of said drink to put me in a much better mood than what I'm in currently.
Perhaps I could provide you with enough drink to put you and your friends in a better mood at a different location.
God damn it.
I tell you what, Tanika, I am not about to be hurried out of this hall by anyone, not after what I've done for this army and this military outfit. I will take my drink. I will go and join my group so we can continue our conversation. If anything that we say does upset anybody, do let us know and I'll apologise. However, as you know, my conduct is generally of the highest calibre, and I don't expect to be ousted from this mess hall like this. I find that incredibly disrespectful, and I hope this is just a misunderstanding.
I'm sure it is, Lieutenant. And she gives you your drink and lets you go to the table.
What kind of drink is it? An ale or a wine?
Whiskey.
Oh, I'll have it. Okay. So, is there space? Who's there space next to?
Well, given that some people left at those guys being quite loud about it, there is space next to Livia.
I'll pop down next to Livia.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Did you
Ooh,
get your
what do you got there?
Sweet comfort. That's what I have.
Yes,
Seem
no, we
rather
seem to have-
stressed, Lieutenant.
we seem to have upset a few people. I think we're going to have to be a bit more careful about our approach in the hall. It's very awkward to not know the etiquette when you're... I feel like we just don't know the norm for this place. Our norm is traveling and being in a city, you know, sort of to be in this kind of environment and to just act normal, and then people get pissy about you, how you're being, or expect you to act a certain way. I feel like it's quite difficult for us, as you know, we didn't choose this life and prepare ourselves for it and
Listen,
grow
many
into it.
people who are here did not choose this life. Olivia Lightwood. But here we are. Well, I am your commanding officer. I have said allow yourself some enjoyment this evening before we have our next mission. I did say don't go crazy. I did warn you about that, but don't let anybody here make you feel like you don't belong. You have worked hard. You have worked with myself and Sergeant Astaroth. You've completed missions, whether or not they were a success or a failure. So you've earned your time here.
Fair
Very
enough.
confused to say, Lieutenant.
Hmm.
And I awkwardly just grab my my drink and have a sip.
Amongst yourselves, just gonna have a drink of my whiskey.
I just feel awkward in this place. Well, I could have more fun back at our bloody tent. We wouldn't worry about pissing people off.
Let's
Oh.
enjoy our drinks. Let's forget it. Let's forget it. Let me ask you.
Let's
all
just not be criminals for 10 minutes. Just enjoy our night.
I'm not a criminal!
Let me ask you something. Lydia, let me ask you. You have made it abundantly clear that this is an uncomfortable zone for you. What would you be doing if you weren't here?
Well, I don't think we got a huge chance to think about what we were doing if we weren't here.
Well, this is a chance. I'm asking you a question. What would you be doing if you could?
Well, me and Vice and the mayor always had this dream you could call it, of opening up our own little traveling stall carts where Vice would sell his cooking for travelers on the fly, and the mayor would have another side of the car where she could, do her enchanting for any travelers, and we could
And clean people's things, like precipitation, magic.
We together?
As a group, all of us. I hadn't quite found my skill yet. Maybe I could heal people, but I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
We didn't really have a sort of dream. We sort of fell into each other's company, and then we were trying to help Vice, and ended up in Stalvin. I saw my parents, but we actually did purchase a cart, and you know about Adana, the horse. So we were on the way, and the mayor was planning to speak to someone in the city, possibly about enchanting, but there was the whole magic ban thing. Vice even entered a cooking competition in Stalvin to gain some reputation around Stalvin. He did fantastically. It was most grand.
Wow, that seems like so long ago, actually.
Until someone trashed the place that may or may not have been you guys.
It was not us. Obviously, I have a forte with looking after people and healing people, and I'm hoping that I can get to a point where I can start making healing potions and salves and things that
you could
help
open
people.
An apothecary.
Well, yeah, this is sort of a joking idea that we used to joke about. We'd have this traveling cart where we could service other travelers on the way with our skills, and I don't know. At first, I think it was a bit of a joke, but I think deep down we all liked the idea of it. So much so that we bought a cart that we've now lost.
It's okay, Olivia. And I put my hand on her shoulder, and I'm like, "We'll get another cart."
Another cart.
We will get our dream
your
one
horse
day.
back.
We had a name, didn't we? What was it? An
Omnimaze.
Omnimaze. That was it.
Yes, I like that. I like that a lot. You know something? I'm nearly out of my drink already. I might go and just top this up a little bit. How are all of you doing? Beverages?
Sipping my water.
I still haven't gotten my bottle of wine yet. I don't.
Did you pay for?
Say that again, Mayor.
You got through a whole bottle of whiskey.
No,
I wanted to get wine, but I'm not sure if I'd actually got that yet.
No, I didn't hear that. Sorry.
I'll go get you. I'll get you a wine. I'll get you the wine. Howard, I'm just going to get up and survey the land again as I stand up. Say, Want a bottle? You're having a bottle of wine. Vice, Livia, Karen.
I mean, I wouldn't say no, obviously, Lieutenant. I mean, you
What
see,
would you like? I'll buy you a drink.
go on.
I'll buy you a drink. What would you like?
Well, yeah, I mean, everything here tastes like piss, so I'll just have whatever. To be honest.
Yeah, another jar of piss.
What is your what's your preference of piss?
Preference, you know what?
Yellow, tangy.
Spicy.
You a whiskey man, an
Spicy,
old man.
spicy. Oh, you know what? I haven't had a whiskey in many moons. I'll have a whiskey.
Right, Lydia.
Livia, I owe you a drink. Let me get
I'll have some wine with the mayor.
Sit yourself down, the mayor.
2
Sit yourself
bottles of
down. Now, Carvin, I see you're calling for the soft today. Would you like some flavoured soft?
I look over and I'm just like, juice.
Like a fruit juice? A fruit juice. I will get you a fruit juice.
It's like a mum talking to her child.
They do.
Like, you want a juice box?
I'll get you. I'll get you one.
Oh, apple juice, please. Thank you.
Keep talking amongst yourself. And then I'm just going to get up and I'm going to walk over to Tanika.
Do you say you go to Nemea?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Tanika,
Yes, Lieutenant.
hello. Listen, I've given some thought to our discussion earlier, and seeing as everyone else is in quite a somber mood, I think it would be best if we did leave shortly. So what I'm going to propose is we'll have another beverage here, and then we'll vacate to our tent. But before we do that, I do want to buy a few more beverages just to keep me in this pleasant mood. I don't particularly want to revert back to the one I was in earlier.
No, that's fine, Lieutenant. I suspect this may be how things are for a while. She goes and gets the bottle of whiskey that has seemingly been used more than just the drink she poured you earlier. Gives you half a bottle of whiskey. I assume you inquire as to the wine.
Yes. How much is a bottle of wine?
No, that's fine. Your coin covered it earlier. Certainly, this isn't something we can be doing all the time.
Certainly not. Certainly not. And as you know, I've been here a number of years, and I don't ask for much, do I?
She gives you like a wine skin, Nemea. And then when you inquire about some sort of juice for Taryn, she gives you a water and an apple.
The best
That'll
you
do.
do.
I don't think we have any sort of juice, I'm afraid, like what you're
Yeah,
describing.
When I came in, you mentioned fruit juice. I mean, I've never purchased a fruit juice, but you mentioned it earlier.
Yes, as something that we have had in the past. I don't have any at the moment, I'm afraid.
Could you at least spice up this apple so that it can kind of ferment in the water and give it some sort of flavour? Don't just dump it in like that.
Certainly, she takes it aside, and pours the beers out of a cask at the back.
While she's doing that, I want to turn around and look at the hall and see if anybody's watching me.
Everyone's seeing this.
Has anybody got a problem?
Nobody particularly responds, and then you hear kind of from the back, like, "All good, Lieutenant."
Oh, enjoy your suppers. Have a pleasant evening.
A couple
How
more
are you
people
doing?
get up and leave at this point.
How much? How much was it for the wine?
No, that's fine. Covered by
Oh,
Aresia earlier. Don't worry
Oh.
yourselves. She seems quite down now, Tanika.
Resigned.
Listen, Nemea, would you mind carrying these back to the table?
Oh, no, not at all. I take everything I can.
Thanks.
Skip off.
All right, I'll be over in a moment. Tanika,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to lean in. I apologise for the position I'm putting you in. I'm sorry, truly. And I'm going to slide her 5 gold and say, I want you to keep this for you.
That's nice of you, Lieutenant. But to be honest with you, with everything that's taken place in the last half an hour or so, I don't suspect that this is an arrangement we'll have for much longer. Certainly, I wouldn't have a reason to take this coin, and she kind of slides it back towards you.
a gift, and then I'll slide it back. Nothing more.
Thank you.
To say thank you for your hard work and for understanding me in this moment. And I apologise again. We'll be out of your hair shortly.
It's fine.
Okay. And then I'm just going to go back to the group.
Okay.
Meanwhile, while all of that was happening, I lean over to Livia and I'm like, the lieutenant's acting a bit strange, don't you think?
It seems a little bit off cue.
What?
I don't know. Maybe we should teach her solitaire. That'll calm her down.
Yeah. Let's play 3 players.
I think we need 4.
Oh,
I
sorry.
slide
Oh,
over
yeah.
this
Sorry.
glass
Right.
over to
You're cutting in and out
Slide.
a bit, Namer. Slide over a glass.
I slide over the water with the apple in it to Tara, and I'm like, they didn't have fruit juice, but Arasia did get you this.
I just look at it quite a bit like, the fuck is this? But then I just sip it anyway.
Oh, wait, Taryn, I've got something for you. And I lean over into my bag and I pull out some and I just pop it into your drink.
What do you put in your drink?
Mint.
piece
I had
of
mint.
Ooh.
A piece of mint. Found quite some time ago, but still has its freshness.
I sip at the drink anyway, because I'm just like, fuck it.
Refreshing.
So, I assume after this, you guys eventually return to your tent. You find, unless anybody wants to do something, feel free to interject. You find Agatha quite happily pecking away at the last of some of the seed, sort of like bits on the ground that
I tried to give Agatha some wine.
that she'd missed before.
Agatha's at the tent.
Yeah, that's
Chicken
what I'm saying.
wine.
So, as you return to the tent, you see this. Nemea, you try and feed her wine. If anybody's trying to stop that.
Namea, don't feed her wine! She might not
What?
eat because she's
Wine.
drunk.
Why would you give it to a
Is she
chicken? The
allowed
chicken can't appreciate it.
You could kill her!
The chicken can have a little wine.
No.
A treat.
No.
Not a drunk chicken!
Listen.
She will be
Just a little.
disorderly!
Oh,
Listen. The mayor. Listen. Don't give the chicken wine. And that's for us. That's for the people. Please don't give the chicken wine.
It's for the people.
Give her wine.
I like it. What if she likes it?
Can I get a
Why don't
con
you just
save
feed
from
her
everyone
food?
except Taryn? And Agatha. She doesn't need to roll either.
A con roll.
Save.
Save.
Or con save, sorry.
Shit.
12.
15.
Oh, my number 12.
13.
Sorry, I'm there.
Oh,
Okay.
18. Oh.
So
And
you
your
all managed to just about hold your drink, despite the drunkenness coming through for everyone who isn't Taryn. Is there anything you
So-
guys want to do before you sleep?
The mayor! Come on.
I want to talk
Chicken.
about Taryn. We know nothing about you.
Sorry, what about me?
I'm gonna go and cuddle Agatha.
What about you, Taryn? What about you?
Taryn,
Yes, what about me?
would you kiss me?
What the fuck?
Oh
I'm
my
gonna carry on hugging the chicken.
What
Oh,
the hell?
God, romance is here. I'm so left out.
Damn!
Sergeant, are you okay?
I mean,
Sergeant is Asteros. I am a lieutenant.
Oh,
I am a lieutenant.
Lieutenant, have you ever slept with Asteros? I
What?
feel some vibes.
Why he no no
My
that
insight checker.
No.
Yeah, sure. Roll insight. And in the meantime, Taryn, what was your response?
He's like my great.
I want to just look at Nemea, and I want to see roughly how old she looks.
Nemea?
How old is Namea? Actually, ain't she 30 odd, right?
I don't know.
Oh, she's
I thought she was mid-20s.
How old are you,
I'm
Nemea?
26.
26. So she looks mid-20s.
Okay, only about 10 years difference, but still.
get in there, boy, and I push him.
I'm gonna hug Agatha some more.
I look visibly distressed, so I just turn and go to the bed.
Okay.
Lie down. I ignore everything everyone's saying.
Olivia, Aresia seems to be telling the truth, although she's not. Just this is ironic. She's not like announcing it very well. It's slurred and.
He
Just not-
is. Oh, I mean, I wish our relationship was better, but he is an old man.
I know, I just sensed some weird advice. Don't you sense some weird vibe? Calm down, Echo. Don't you sense some weird vibes between them
together.
two?
I felt
Oh,
it
where's
too.
Olivia?
You felt it too? See, Nemea felt it too.
Together?
Oh,
wait,
my
hang on.
Oh, you asked me.
We all kind of what's going on right now? Like,
You telling me you haven't sensed some weird vibes with Lieutenant and Sergeant? Some strange vibes there between the two of them.
Strange how.
And I'm gonna wink at Vice like.
yeah.
I will
See, Vice.
kill you both. I will kill you both. I buy you drinks. How dare you insult me with Astaroth? I mean, I can do better than Astaroth.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Oh, certainly, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, but sometimes it's-
People have moments of weakness, right, Vice?
Not
Yeah,
with him.
we
I
do.
mean, there's like
Many
young
men,
men.
yeah.
Young men. You're a young man, Vice. You're a young man, Vice.
I yes.
You're a very young man, Vice.
He's not that young.
Yeah, I am. Oh, I mean, I'm about 31. I'm 31.
Oh,
Whoa.
you're close to me. I'm 30.
Oh, I'm 31 too.
You're
Oh.
31. You're both a bit older than me. You're a bit,
You
bit
two
older.
are so cute together.
Terribly, Vice.
Nemea, shut up. I'm gonna throw a cedar.
I feel. Taryn, what happened? What happened to
Taryn's
Mayor's
laying in
request?
bed.
Tara went to bed.
You know, what's this guy doing?
I've just turned around. I'm not going to sleep. I'm just ignoring.
You know what?
I don't think he knows how to kiss a girl.
Why does no one love me? Is it the whole? Is it the bubbles?
I'm just gonna immediately turn around.
Your horns are beautiful. They are so becoming of your wonderful face.
Oh my gosh.
They make you more shapely.
No one loves me.
Oh
I
my
love
god.
you. Vice, tell her she's beautiful.
Yeah, you are beautiful, Nemea. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, Nemea. Yeah. You
Trixie,
are
you are
stunning.
beautiful, darling. You are so beautiful.
Thank
Right,
you.
now come on, let's get you in bed. Taro is just a fool. He spent the last God knows how many years in prison and he's forgotten how to act around a lady. Just
Of
ignore
course.
him.
Aresia sort of
All
stumbles
drunk, you
through
are
you all.
acting very unbecoming for all of you.
I mean, Taryn.
I mean, you were wasted the other night.
I
So much that
mean,
you fell
yeah,
asleep on
exactly.
the
I mean-
bench in the mess hall, so you can't talk.
You were a bit of a mess.
Precisely. I am now sober, and you are not.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That is true.
And
You're
you've turned
asleep,
down. You've turned down an opportunity. You've turned down a huge opportunity right there. That may never come back again.
Who says I want to kiss girls?
Oh.
And I go to sleep.
I'm so confused. What's in game?
What is that? Yeah.
Aresia has left the tent.
Nemea, come on, let's lay down, and you'll feel better in the morning. And I'll give Taryn a
Okay.
slap. It'll make you feel much better.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Can I hold Agatha to sleep?
Touch me, I'll zap your chicken.
I mean, if Taryn, I will zap you in a minute with your damn attitude. And I will. Okay, but only quickly because she needs to go to bed. I mean, if we want poached eggs in the morning, and I'll bring Agatha over to her for a little cuddle.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm going to sit next to her
Shallow
cot and be like, you remember when you didn't appreciate Agatha when she was first here? Remember that?
I don't remember that. I don't remember that.
And then when she's asleep, I'm gonna pry Agatha away from her, and then put her back in her cage with some seed, hoping that she'll.
Okay.
While she's not in there, can I check to see if she laid an egg while we were out?
There is an egg in the cage.
Ooh, nice! And I'm gonna go over and give him the egg.
Ah, fantastic.
Poached egg in the morning.
Poached egg in the morning. I shall try that recipe in the morning. Although I think to make, don't you need it's sourdough, isn't it? Sourdough.
Yeah,
That's gonna take a while. That's gonna take a while for me to make.
I remember you could just do the poached bit.
Yeah, alright, we can do that then.
Do you want a quick game of solitaire for bed?
Oh gosh. Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay.
Let's do this.
Let's make it more interesting. Let's do shots. Are the other two asleep? Are Taran and Thingy asleep?
I mean, they're in bed. I don't imagine they're asleep, given the noise.
Yeah.
No,
Well, I'll put out the cards.
I was drunk enough.
Okay, Nemea's knockout.
I put out the cards and I start dealing.
Okay, and then I'm gonna come up with this new rule that every time he draws a black card, he has to do a shot.
When she's mentioned,
I
that
have a
they'll do
bottle of wine.
shots, that's what I was going to ask. Have they brought drinks with them that I know of?
Well, you guys were given the wine skin and half a bottle of whiskey, and I think that you left
We
with
wouldn't
them.
have drunk all that whiskey and all that wine. We only stayed for one drink.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So either
I
we
don't know how
use
much food
the
being given.
You also had,
wine-
those that weren't drinking whiskey or wine had beers again as well.
Okay.
So I'll drink.
I'd
the
say you
leftovers.
have a fair amount of drink.
I'm not like trying to do spirits. I was just like a swig of wine every time he pulls out a black card. It's a new rule, but it's not going to work for me because I'm going to say that when he pulled a joker on his third round, that meant that he was the joker, and now every time he pulls a black card, he has to do a shot. But I didn't pull a joker, so the rule doesn't apply to me.
She rambles on. I'm gonna jump. I don't know whether or not you believe all of these rules and follow them, Vice. It's up to you. We can make a rule.
I'll just follow them because I'm drunk
Cool.
and I'm still learning. As far as I know, Livia is the master of solitaire, and I have learnt from her.
It seems to be a far more complex game than it once appeared to you. It's as though once you've learnt the rules, it's just opened up a brand new ceiling of complexity. It's such a innovative and
You learn all the rules
time-consuming
only to
game.
learn more rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After a while, you guys go to sleep, and shortly after that, Aresia, you return to the tent to find most of them knocked out. Vice, give me a con save, please.
18.
Okay. So Vice doesn't sound great, and he's snoring a new kind of snoring that you've not heard before, but he has not thrown up all over the side of his bed, so that's a plus. And you're free to also go to sleep if you want.
How loud is Vice snoring? Like, a lot.
It's quite loud. Everyone else is asleep, and you're still medium drunk, so...
I'm just going to sort over to Vice and just... Like, do that, like, trail his nose, and then pinch it so he can't breathe through.
It's going to wake you up, Vice, in a sort of, like, awkwardy way.
It's like, oh.
Get off my nose!
I was like, what are you doing, Lieutenant?
I'm sorry, I was just making sure you're okay. You were very loud. You were very loud.
Yeah.
You're very loud.
No. Okay. I'm just gonna go back to sleep. Attempt to.
Are you trying to wake him up again, or are you just going back?
I think she's telling you to be quiet.
Everybody,
Okay.
sleep.
Okay.
I'm going to go over to is Agatha awake?
No.
I'm just going to go over and like just sit by the cage just for a minute and just like just stroke the cage. Not even stroke the chicken, just stroke the cage. And then I'm going to end up falling asleep in that position.
Okay. So...
Fucking hell. What a mess. What a mess of a
Yeah.
mess.
After a long time of nothingness, pissing off a fair amount of people, you guys have successfully long rested. And for those of you that don't have all of your
Yay.
spells and everything else, you have everything back, full health and all the rest of it. If you had temp health from Vice, I think it's still there. I can't remember how we ruled it.
Mhm.
Pretty sure
I think after another long rest, it's gone. If you
Yeah,
have it.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure
Yeah.
it's gone. I think it was the
Right.
only one that does go. So yeah, no temp health if you did have temp health before. Yeah, that's right, because temp health does that by itself anyway. We were just using the temp health rules. Cool. So the following day comes around. Pretty early morning, because you guys went to sleep quite early without really realizing it. It's about sort of 5-ish in the morning. The usual sounds that you're waking up to of like people bashing into things and carrying things around, the clatter of metal and stuff like that, hasn't really come through yet. There's hints of it in the distance, but it's not frequent enough to really like be bothering you massively. But you all wake up around the same sort of time. Aresia is in the corner next to your bed, Livia, near the cage, and the rest of you are in bed.
When I wake up, I go to Taryn and I'm like, we never speak of last night. Never.
Sure thing. I'll just give her a nice pat on the shoulder.
Am I awake?
Everyone's awake.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go feed Agatha and see if she's laid another hen.
She hasn't
Egg.
laid another chicken
overnight.
or hen or egg, unfortunately.
I move out of the way as she approaches the cage without saying anything.
Okay.
All right.
So you guys
So-
know the location of the lake.
Yeah, I would just immediately speak up and just be like, hey, so when are we going? I'm ready whenever.
As soon as we've eaten breakfast, I'm ready.
Okay.
All of you, Vice, will you be cooking for everybody?
Yeah, sure. How many more do I have? I only need 2 more, don't I, to get my thing well up? I'm sure. Yes, 2 more.
Mhm.
Yeah, sure. Let me just cook up a breakfast for everyone, Josh, and
Okay.
Listen,
hopefully-
I have some business to take care of, so you guys enjoy breakfast in the tent, and I'll come join you again shortly.
Okay.
Wait, but Captain, we need to figure out a plan for this lake. What is she, Lieutenant? I can forget.
It's simple. I mean,
Lieutenant.
we'll discuss it on the way there. It's not going to be a complicated plan.
Okay.
So just enjoy your breakfast, and we'll discuss.
Everyone except Taryn has disadvantage on dex checks, dex saves and checks as a result of your hangover until your next long rest.
Everyone's got
So no tree
disadvantage
climbing?
Dex.
on decks. Okay, yeah, definitely no tree climbing. Okay.
Until your next long rest as a result of your heavy night of drinking. Vice, if you want to roll your standard thing, make sure that you knock off a main, a side, and a flavor ingredient. And
Yes.
what level of culinary artisan are you?
I am still apprentice. No, I'm still
Student, and you're trying to
yes.
hit apprentice.
I need apprentice. Yeah.
So you need a 14, and it's a D20 plus proficiency.
Cool. So hang on. Is it just one time I get to use it, or?
Yeah, just once.
Okay. Cool.
Because it takes an hour to practice, and I assume that you're going to practice making the food. Everyone's going to have breakfast. It's generally going to be an hour.
Yep. Ah, God,
That is a
come
fail,
on,
I'm afraid.
man. Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's all the ball meat gone, guys.
But you all get a
I made
good
enough.
breakfast. I don't know if
Yeah,
it's enough to sort of feed everyone. There's a mixture of ration packs and things like that to kind of cut it up and split it out. But it's kind of like an upscaled ration pack rather than like a full-on meal for everyone. Cool. I assume you guys are waiting for Aresia before you head out. It's up to you if you want to go now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll wait.
Okay, so Aresia, on your journey, you get to the mess hall before you get to your other stop.
I'm just going to go in and just get the basic breakfast.
Yeah,
There's
okay.
I just eat, like, not speak to anyone,
Yeah.
just eat silently.
That's fine. Tanika brings your food. There's not much conversation. She just sort of brings you some food over with some water, and then heads off. Roll perception for me. Okay. So somebody else comes in and seemingly sort of relieves her, and she heads out. They seem to have some sort of conversation. She heads out. You don't pick up on it too much. On your way back, it's going to take you a little bit longer to find Kristen. You can take the extra time and hunt him down, or you can just head back. It's up to you.
And I'll take the extra time.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to add another hour. So it's been, I would say, a couple hours by the time Aresia gets back. But in the meantime, Aresia, you do manage to find Kristen. What do you want to do?
He's in his his quartermaster tent.
He's not at a tent. He's just sort of in front of his cart at the time. He seems to be like fumbling about with something in his hand.
Kristen, and then I'll just march up to him and just take his hand, open it, and then slam 3 gold into it. And then while I'm gripping it, I'll just say, I appreciate your offer, but I am a woman of my word. I said I would buy you and your wife a drink, and I will. This is for you. I don't need anything from you. Thank you. And then just walk off without a word.
As you do, he like in a distance, he's just kind of goes, "Oh, thank you, Lieutenant." You carry on.
I don't know. Keep walking.
That's fine. And then after a short while, you return back to the home tent. It's been a couple hours since Aresia left the rest of you. In that time, you've eaten and done the cooking and everything. You've had your practice. You guys...
That's fine. We're ready. We're ready to go. We're all packed and ready.
Packed and ready.
I am going to leave with only my weaponry. One potion of water breathing.
Mm-hmm.
And my 5 potions of healing.
Okay.
But other than that, I'm leaving all my stuff here, so it doesn't get soaked.
Yep.
I'm going to give Aresia 2 potions of water breathing and say that I grabbed them for her yesterday from Kristen.
Okay. So put those on in your inventory, Aresia.
Yeah, I'll say thank you and take them from her, but not look her in the eye.
Okay.
Anything else anybody is leaving behind, or anything you want to state before you go?
How does it work with being underwater with armor?
It's probably not good for your armor, but if you go about maintaining it afterwards, I suspect it won't be that big a deal. I mean, you have to, if you were going to wash it, you'd need water, so...
Do I know...
Sorry.
Sorry, go you
I
go.
was just going to say I'm leaving everything behind bar my 2 swords, the 2 main ones, and and the potions in my belt pouch, and I think that's going to be. Oh, I'm going to take my bone dice as well.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
question it.
I look around at everyone and realize that maybe everyone's making the right move by leaving everything behind. And I slowly start to slip off one shoulder strap of my backpack and just take off the other one and slowly kind of fall to the ground quietly whilst no one notices, hopefully.
Just heavy eye contact, just like, I wasn't thinking of taking it, don't know.
Yeah. So I'll just I'll keep on my person's
Sorry.
I will follow...
the drinks. The potions and all of my potions basically. I've got like 2 potions of healing. No, 3 potions of healing and the 2 potions of breathing. 3 now. Actually, I've got 3 potions of breathing. My God.
I'm
Just
going to take 2
potions of
potions of
breathing.
water breathing,
Pure breathing.
and one potion of common potion healing. Everything else I'll leave. Like all my herbs and clothes and rations.
Just tell me if you're taking like your entire fucking backpack. For everyone like to cut through, I assume you're taking armor, weaponry, and potions, and apparently bone dice.
Yes.
If you have any other weird items that you want to bring, I'm going to assume you didn't bring them.
You know what they are to me.
No, I don't know. I mean, I do know what you're...
You know what they are.
I
I
think
don't
oh,
remember,
fuck,
but
and I just
I'll...
want to grab my rope as well.
Okay, cool. So Taran's bringing rope.
Oh yeah, that's a good shout. I'll take rope too.
Cool.
Won't get swollen in the water.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
It's
I mean,
relatively thin rope.
I'll bring it, but don't bring all of it. We might need some for dry activate.
Okay. So, we ready to go?
I am
Believe
pumped.
so. Everyone's fed and watered. Everyone has their provisions.
Should one of
Dude.
us remain behind to, keep watch of the
No,
water and
no,
maybe signal
Nemea.
for help? Or
No.
no?
You're coming with us, Nemea.
Okay. I was just worried, and there's an extra couple of potions.
Wait,
to go
one
around.
moment. I'll be back in just a second.
Oh.
Josh, I want to run over to the infirmary to speak to Adeline quickly.
Okay.
And
I'm
like,
going to put Agatha back in her cage, give some extra straws, some extra hay, and a pile of seeds so that she's fine all day. She's
Yep.
having a busy couple of days. She probably wants a day lay in bed.
You head over there, Aresia. Avelin's not there.
Oh, is Annie Medic there?
Yeah, there's a sort of thinnish-looking human woman.
Am I familiar with her?
Roll history. Oh, sorry, I didn't see it. No.
Sorry, excuse me.
Yes?
Pardon me. Sorry to trouble you. I was hoping to ask a favour. I had been hoping to speak to Adeline, but I see she's not occupying this tent any longer.
No. She has some ability, but not no proper magics for these sort of applications. The illnesses have been getting quite severe recently. We've had our first death, unfortunately.
Oh no. Well, have we learned anything more? I thought it was just a bit of a stomach upset.
Well, they seem to have trouble breathing. Most go into a bit of a elongated sleep. We've had a few people throw up, and it seems that one of our members, I believe he was just a private, but he had already suffered a wound, and unfortunately became ill and died not too long afterwards. We believe it was the result of the illness and not simply his wounds.
Oh, that is such a shame. Did you get the private's name? Do you know his name?
Unfortunately not. He's not yet been claimed. It was only recently that he passed. We're making sure that all of the necessary avenues are followed so that he can be identified.
Of course. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'll endeavour that my men and my comrades across the camp are doing their utmost to look after their health so we can try and keep this infirm as empty as possible.
Yes, that would be most appreciated.
I was hoping to ask a favour, rather unusual one. Will you be here for the next day or so?
Yes, certainly.
Listen, my troops and I, we're about to go out on a mission, and our tent is stationed about 20, 30 feet that way. I believe you know the one. It's the
You're the
one
furthest
with
tent.
which tent? Sorry.
You're the furthest tent, are you?
Yes, the one. So
Well, that makes you Lieutenant Aresia, is it not?
yes, yes. I'm sorry, I don't believe we've had the pleasure. I am Lieutenant Teresia Godwin, and you are?
Oh, simply a corporal. My name is Sherna Mortican.
Shenna. Nice to meet you, Shenna. Shenna, I was hoping to ask an unconventional favour, but while we're out on this mission, we do have. I don't know how to phrase this without sounding absolutely insane, but we do have a chicken that I would appreciate someone checking in on every so often, a couple of times a day for us. I don't suppose you would be able and willing. We're just over yonder. The chicken is in the cage. If we could be allowed out just to have a walk around and a see.
Yes,
Not.
I can
Would
check
you
in on
mind,
her. It's not a problem. No.
I would appreciate that so much. And of course, once we return from our mission, I will reimburse you for your time and effort.
But that's not necessary. It's you just need to allow it to move around slightly and corral it back in. Is that the case?
Yeah, yes, and just make sure that the chicken's safe. And the chicken is sort of a pet of sorts, a loved one for my companions. And I would also be remiss if anything happened to the poor thing. So if we could just, if you wouldn't mind. Just take
I love how we had to sort out babysitting.
No, that's fine. I'm more than happy to do that.
Like,
Yeah, she's a lovely little thing. Her name's Elizabeth. So if you want to give her a seed at lunchtime and again just before sundown, and just a little bit of exercise, I'd appreciate that. And when we return from the mission, I will ensure I thank you properly.
That's absolutely fine. Thank you, Lieutenant.
Thank you, Shanna. And then I'll head back to the tent, and I'll tell the guys, Amelia's sorted. The infirmary will look after her while we're gone.
Okay.
oh, it's awfully kind of you, Lieutenant. You seem
I'm not going to bother correcting her about names at this point.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
just
Nazareth.
resigned.
all right. So, are we now
Let's
ready to
go.
leave, guys? I am
Let's go.
ready.
We've wasted enough time. We've got everything.
Yes.
Let's get on out.
Let's begin.
Wonderful.
I have such a brisk pace as I leave the tent. I am pumped.
I am with Taryn on this one, and I am power walking next to him.
So,
Like, fair enough.
as we head on out, as we're walking on our way there, Taran Parvis, you are more excited for this mission than anybody. Why don't you recap us on what our objective is?
Go in the lake. Find out what's going on in the lake. It's pretty fucky, but it's a lake.
Can anyone else put that more eloquently?
He's excited to discover new things. And possibly use
Investigate the lake
spells.
to see if there's anything untoward there and what may be happening. We also think it might have something to do with the sickness that's been
Yes.
happening around. Maybe.
Exactly.
Check it
Yes,
out.
exactly what I said.
Who knows? Who knows? It could be. There could be something in there that's making the water bad, and that water's being used in the food or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's the mission. We're going to simply investigate, Lieutenant, to see what happens.
Have we missed
We have-
anything, Lieutenant? Or is that.
No, I'm just making sure we're all on the same page and none of us are going toward a different objective. We're all agreed? Wonderful. Now, we all have our water breathing potions. We have various healing potions. Let's just quickly recap the skills and abilities that we have, or rather, you have, as I have no magical information at all, that will see us through. Harvest, you do, from what I recall, when we were in the thick fog before finding the encampment and finding the land for the encampment, you had a dancing light show. Is that something you'll be able to do underwater?
No. Unfortunately, the only way that I can breathe underwater is by concentrating on that. So I cannot.
What, both take your full concentration?
Indeed.
Hmm.
Let me ask you this. If you were to stay on land, could you direct your balls of light down into the water, guide somebody else?
Depends on how far the water goes in, but yeah.
How far could you send your lights?
100 plus feet, something like that.
Okay, good to know.
Would
you
they
have any
stay up,
other-
though, if you then cast something else?
Well, if I got something else.
Being
then-
underwater doesn't interfere with spellcasting if they can breathe underwater.
Okay, cool.
But-
I have a spell that could shed light if necessary.
And
Cool.
the effects of the water breathing potion does not require your concentration.
Also, can we talk underwater because of water breathing or not?
No.
Can Taran
You can make muffling noises like you're talking.
can Taran do his voice message thing or his head message thing that he does?
I can use messages.
You can do that underwater.
Yes.
Under the effects of this potion, Yeah. Can't see why not.
Looks like you're going to be the main source of conversation for all of us, Taryn. Be sure to pay full attention and keep us all updated. 'Cause we're not going
Are
to
you
be
the only one who can commune like that?
So, do you want me to just go under the water and I'll communicate back up, or do you want me to communicate up
No,
top?
you won't go.
No,
You won't go down alone. Should anything be down there for you, you get trapped. I want someone with you.
No, we
Why
should
not say
all
I'll go down
go. Protection in numbers. I just mean that, like, if
I-
Taryn, you see someone's getting attacked, message someone else and say, Pilar's getting attacked.
Let's not worry about that for now. Let's just make sure we are aware what's in our arsenal and be
Ah.
prepared to use whatever skills are necessary at the appropriate moment. So we know that Parvis
We're not going to be able to discuss what to do underwater, so we should have these things in plan.
Yes, that's what the purpose of this discussion is. Parvis can breathe underwater without the aid of a potion and can do something like spell. I'll move on to everybody else shortly. Taryn, is there anything else that you can utilize for this mission or that you think may come in handy?
As you guys are walking up closer to the lake and having this conversation on the move, you hear a voice of a dwarf that some of you will recognize as Durjek. I don't know if you remember the name. And he shouts over at all of you, "Oh, hey, are you lot going in?"
Yeah, we're
Well,
trying to.
Yes, we are. We've accepted the lake mission.
I heard it was you lot. I thought the old fellow was going with you.
He's been called away on other business.
Yeah, fair enough.
What brings you here this time of the morning?
On duty.
Horrible shift.
Oh, it's quite easy, to be honest. Watch the lake. Get out the way when the people that are supposed to be going in it come round.
Find that terribly boring. No disrespect.
And this one's no fucking fun either, though. He kind of points over at a like sheepish-looking, quite young human man. And he's like, "Oh, I don't mind it, Lieutenant." And you recognise this to be his Cass.
I want to shout over towards Durjek and just be like,
Save this
see
guy.
anything interesting in the lake? On the lake? Around the lake?
Oh, hey, there's a whole fucking battalion if you look that way. He points towards the encampment.
Oh, oh.
I'll just sort of finger gun him, just, hey.
Cat, I'm seeing you everywhere at the moment. Rather versatile young man, aren't you?
Oh yeah, they give me they keep me busy. And he's like, Durjek goes, "What he means is they give him the shit jobs, and I have to look after him sometimes."
Well, I'm sure you'll do a good job at that. For what it's worth, Jack, you know, he's pleased me with his progress and his success in the past, so there's hope for him yet. And I'll give him a slight clap on the shoulder. His Cass.
Durjek looks over and he's like, "Oh, hey, something going on there, is there? Well, I don't pray. I'm not too interested. Well played, though, lad."
Anywho, have a good day. We have to be off. We've got a lot to get done today.
It's all yours. We'll be moving aside. Go on, boy. And they turn around and walk about kind of 50 feet away.
Sorry.
Give you guys space to go in. You're at the edge of the lake, where it starts to become sort of a little bit marshy as a result of the water mixing with the soil around. Quite early in the day. Not as bright as it will be later on, but plenty of light. It permeates the water to a point, but eventually goes down deep enough that it reaches a darkness once more. And you suspect without dark vision, it's going to be quite difficult to see down there. I don't know which ones of you do and don't have dark vision off the top of my head. It looks as though it kind of goes down at an angle that is away from the encampment. So if you are, let me put it on, you guys can see the map that we're on now, right? With the lake in the top right. So you guys are going to be roughly, I just need to move where your house is. Basically all of this is a bit wrong. It needs to come over like here. And this is more sort of there. By the time you reach the lake, you're kind of here. I can't be fucked to stretch the blue and the brown wider, but generally that's what would need to happen for it to fit properly. Oh look, I'm doing it anyway.
Oh,
I lied about not being fucked. And then this would be rounded off more. Something like that. So that the proper top right of the entire clearing is the lake. As you move further top right, you get to the deeper sections of... Oh, that's not a circle. I don't know why it would be. I thought it would be a circle. So this way gets deeper. And deeper still as you kind of go that way down, if that makes sense. So it looks as though it's getting deeper as it goes into the wood.
Okay.
It's not flat ground, this whole area. It's kind of hilled and bumpy and stuff. And once you reach the woods, there's like kind of rolling hills. The terrain is very up and down, as the nature of the forest. So you're at the shallowest end. You assume if you were going to inspect it entirely, you'd need to make your way to the deeper end. And from about the dark, or the non-teal blue, the sort of royal blue colour, that's when it goes so deep that you can't really see down anymore.
I see.
What do you guys want to do?
Okay.
So we were discussing everyone's abilities. Olivia, you mentioned you're a healer and can also provide light. Is there anything else that you feel may be of use in this mission that we should be aware of?
I can detect if there's magic in a certain area, but like I've explained before, it's not the most enlightening knowledge. Also, I don't know how I would communicate any of it to you, other than just, yes, there's magic here.
How far can that spell spread? From this point, how far can you detect a magical
About
presence?
25, 30 feet around wherever I am, that sort of the space around me.
All right. Well, if you wouldn't mind, would you mind approaching the edge of the lake and just casting that as far out as you can and let me know? While Livia's doing that, Vice, what abilities do you that have that may assist in this mission?
Well, Lieutenant,
I will go and do as she asked.
one ability which I can say will probably hinder us more than anything is especially in this scenario is Thunder Wave, I would imagine.
We've discussed this. It's not lightning. It's thunder.
Oh, it's thunder. Isn't that caused
I
by
mean,
lightning?
It's
thunder
sound.
No, it's sound.
No,
It's
you
not
had
like-
this conversation when you went fishing ages ago. I'm saying this out again in an episode where you wanted to get a lot of fish and they were going to explode,
Yeah.
and you challenged it, and then you said it was
You
force.
tried to stun them,
They did
but-
explode from sound.
but the
They did,
force,
yeah,
the force
Oh,
of the
right.
thunder
Okay.
blew them
okay.
open
Imagine
anyway.
you're just using force push rather than
Force
force
push.
light.
Yeah, like a
Yeah,
spherical
yeah,
force push with
Okay.
the cracking sound of thunder. It's very loud.
Sure. Okay. Well, then, you correct me on this. You know.
You know your spell better than you.
You guys, yeah. So, so
I mean,
other than that,
I
other
wouldn't
than
do
that-
that at any point. That's going to cause the water around us to just
Move.
shoot for us, if anything.
Displace.
So maybe use that one. That's fine if you don't. I mean, you have
honestly,
a skill.
honestly, Lieutenant, I'll be honest with you. I'm not much of a swimmer. So this mission, I'm actually quite terrified about. And I don't have abilities that can really, assist in this type of scenario. Honestly, I think if anything, the only thing I could really offer would be this, and I do my mage hand cantrip. Just pull out my mage hand. Basically, it's an additional hand. It's like a spectral hand. I can summon. It can travel 30 feet of distance before it dissipates. And I can basically get it to do stuff like pick stuff up or open doors or, that's it. Anything a hand can do, I can get it to do.
Anything a hand can do.
That may come in handy. Probably more likely to than the Thunderwave ability you were describing, but we'll see. Good to know. And Nemea, you have magical abilities as well? Anything that can assist us today?
Not that I know of, but I might think of something in the heat of the moment.
Are you more of
Reactive.
are you more of an
Reactive.
offensive caster rather than a support caster?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Do you work with particular elements?
Not particularly.
Oh,
Any
Well-
element is good.
okay. Well, we'll consider your abilities then, should the need arise. Well,
Thank you.
it's good to know that we have a nice array of different abilities. I do feel that a lot of your magics are going to be required while we venture on this endeavour. As you are all aware, I am not magically inclined, but I do know my way around a sword or two. I do
Okay.
have two. Or three. Yeah, I left one of them behind. I only took two of them today. So, I appreciate that swimming is not your strong suit. Although we may require your assistance, I would ask you to come aboard. I don't want you to feel uncomfortable, so I'm going to have us ascend or descend into the lake in two waves, close to each other. I think about 10 feet apart should do. The first wave will be myself and Taryn, and the second wave will be you three, so Vice, Livia, and Nemea. Taryn and I
Okay.
will take the lead as we venture downwards, and as we approach, we'll communicate any instructions that we need to back to yourself. What I would like you to do is I would like, Nemea, I would like you to keep an eye for any kind of hostile forces, be they angry fish or anything beyond that.
Will do.
Thank you, and keep an eye. And Livia, I would like you to be primarily focused on supporting the mayor and provide your healing ability if necessary. Bryce, just keep calm, and we'll let you know if the mage hand is needed.
Okay.
Does anyone have any questions, any comments they'd like to raise now before we venture on?
At what point are they coming in after us?
They're going to follow 10 feet behind us. They're not going to be far.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
10 feet? 15?
Well, if we don't have as much, lighting
just gonna-
capabilities except for Livia, I guess I'll drink this potion first.
Taryn drinks his salty seawater taste potion.
I don't literally drink it right now.
Oh, okay.
No, don't. No, not until we're going in. It lasts for an hour, doesn't it?
I thought you were going in. Yeah, it lasts an hour.
You have to, but every second counts. Just hang on. This potion lasts for an hour,
It does.
and we have 11 of them.
Yes. I
Okay.
don't know how they've been divided currently.
No. Okay. All right.
Everyone's got two. Well,
Yeah, we
okay,
do.
apart from Taryn. Taryn gave his one to Vice. So Vice has 3, Taryn has 1, the rest of us
Didn't
have
you
2.
say something about leaving some for Asteros?
I'm just carrying them all. I think I've
So
got
you have them all.
3 left. Yeah.
Okay.
I've
So
got 5.
Everyone
Two for
has
me,
2.
yeah.
Livia has 5. Taryn has 1. Vice has 3. Basically, only 2 people have 2.
Yes.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions before we head on in?
So just to confirm, our goal is to check out the lake.
We're just investigating. We don't know what's down there. What we do know is that there's an
No, I know. I'm just checking. I'm not missing anything. There's not like find this person. It's just
Yes.
investigate the lake.
no set objective other than to find something. And I would respectfully, all of you, respectfully, I do not want to go back to 30 with another failure. We have to make this one work, and we have to be 100% sure in what we do. We leave no stone or coral or whatever it is unturned.
I mean, we'll unturn as much as we can in an hour. But Vice,
2 hours,
what's the problem? You can't swim, right?
I can't swim.
Like
won't
at all?
stop unless you can breathe. It'll just
I
be
cannot swim.
like floating. It'll be
Say again.
fine. It'll be like floating. You can breathe. There's no need to panic.
Okay.
It's panic.
I'm just thinking. I mean,
Josh, what would you do, like from a DM perspective, like someone who can't swim or like doesn't know the technique of swimming properly? What disadvantage would that give them in terms of stats? But like from an outsider game perspective, Livia wants to give Vice a buff with one of her spells to try and help him because he can't swim or isn't confident. But I don't know what it would be.
I would not lessen any singular stat. The inability to swim would only present itself when you attempted to swim. It's likely going to slow him down. It depends on what happens.
Okay.
I don't think being able to swim and being able to swim whilst you can breathe underwater are similar enough that like they're going to be 100% transferable from the perspective of not being able to swim. If you can swim and then suddenly you can swim and breathe underwater, I feel like you've got it down. But for somebody that doesn't know how to swim, I don't think being able to breathe is like, that's making it weirder for that person, if anything. But yeah, we'll see.
Okay. Let me give you something, Vice, that might help you feel better about being underwater. Something that make you feel a bit hardier.
okay.
And I will I'll take his hands and I will cast. Oh, pardon me. And I'll give him Bear's Endurance. So you have advantage on Constitution checks, and you gain 2d6 temp hit points, which are lost when my spell ends, or if you use them.
Okay.
So I've got
Advantage on con checks for the next hour, provided I don't lose my concentration. And you gain 2d6 hit points. I assume I roll them, Josh?
Yeah,
Or-
roll them. I was hoping this would be underwater with music rather than just underwater sound.
Now we just got to get ambience in here.
So take 5 temp hit points for the next hour. Obviously, when it's gone, or when the hour is up,
10. Yeah.
it's up. 5.
5.
Yeah, 5 temp hit points.
Feel it. Feel it. Yeah.
That should help you feel a bit hardier and maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, right. Let's go. And I'm gonna start heading toward the water and neck my potion.
Okay.
Me too.
Exactly the same.
Sure. I follow behind awkwardly and look at the bottle and look at the water and look at the bottle again and just say fuck it and just down it.
As I go into the water as well, I want to cast the cantrip Dancing Lights.
Okay, cool.
And I'll create 2 lights specifically. Actually, wait, what's the... Yeah, no, I'll create 3 lights. 1 for me, 1 for Aresia, and then 1 just to hover behind in the group of the other 3.
Okay.
I
Did
think...
you see the WhatsApp, Josh?
Yes.
I'm gonna put my hand on Vice's shoulder and be like, "Don't worry, stick with me. Follow what I do. You'll be fine."
Sure.
Who has dark vision?
Nope.
I do.
I don't think I do.
I think it's just Vice and Nemea.
Okay, cool.
I think Nemea has
So
it.
you two have no problems. For the rest of you, anyone that has one of Taryn's dancing lights near you, you can see out to 10 feet, so it's not so difficult once you get going. Just trying to find this thing.
I am going to cast.
I can't find
Does
it.
my
Does
how
your
bright is my light? I was gonna say, I assume my weapon will still work and shed light?
It sheds the same light it always does. I don't know whether or not that's listed on it. Cool. Now that the music stuff is done, I'm not changing it again. Taran and Aresia, you guys head in first, drinking your potion shortly before you submerge yourself entirely. I probably should have come up with a like an underwatery map, but I didn't think to. As you go down, it's kind of like, you know, when you're getting into a swimming pool and you get to like knee height, and then you know that you're kind of just going to have to get into it, and it's freezing the whole way up. You can feel it filling the kind of interior and cracks between your actual body and your clothing and your armor. It's uncomfortable, and you kind of have to force your way through a little bit until you're submersed enough. You put yourself into it and you kind of feel the coldness all around you. You dunk yourself down until you're kind of 2/3 up. You drink your potions, Aresia and Taran, and begin to head under the water. Aresia, hair kind of flowing, jellyfish-esque behind you. Taran, quite short head, so nothing particularly happening there, but your cloak and clothing is billowing a little
My
bit,
robes.
Taran. Yeah, your robes. Both of you unable to see perfectly under the water. Fortunately, you're not deep enough to have any issue at this depth. Given the time of day, the sun's starting to pass through, and that's making it so that you can see quite happily. Shortly following you, the remaining three go in. Vice immediately starts being electrocuted in some fashion. I don't know what that was.
I'm sorry, that was my shocking grasp. I'm so sorry.
Tried to zap the chicken and missed.
Very, very big distance.
I'll help Vice as much as I can.
So the two of you have to sort of like slowly kind of nudge him forwards until he's eventually in the water. As you do the same sort of process and eventually submerge yourself entirely, having drank the potion at the last kind of second, Olivia, you cast your spell on Vice at the last second as well. Can I have everybody make a con save, please? As you transition from not drinking, to breathing air, to breathing water, air.
What save? Sorry, con?
Yes.
Everybody, yeah?
Everyone.
Oh, look at that, Vice.
I know. Perfect. And
Okay, cool.
boom. Oh, well, 21. Oh, wait. Hang on. No, that was your 21.
You're the 22. I don't know why you rolled twice.
I'm
Vice.
a 21.
Oh, because you have
Oh,
advantage.
shame. Sorry. Yeah, I've got
Yeah,
advantage.
cool.
Sorry.
So
So
you're
it'll be
the
the
22.
I'm
22.
21, he's 22.
21, 22.
24. Fuck yeah.
Nice.
So everyone's above like a 20 then, right? 22 is the lowest roll?
Yeah, also I put in the chat, but I think it's
There we go,
disappeared
20.
amongst all the chat. I just said I cast light on my shield.
I saw it. Yeah,
It's a
that's fine.
cantrip. And
Nice.
it doesn't cost, it's not
How long does it last?
An hour.
Okay, cool.
Beautiful.
So plenty of light going around. You all go down holding your breath, and as you get to a certain depth, you realize that you're supposed to kind of let this potion do its thing, and there's an awkward moment where you kind of open your mouth. All of you take a moment as the water kind of enters your mouth to, rather than just swallow, you all successfully take a moment to sort of think about it, and instead of swallowing it, you simply just try and breathe in. And it's very disconcerting. It feels like you've drank it anyway, and yet as you breathe in, you feel that kind of natural air fill your lungs somehow, and you are able to breathe. You take another moment and breathe one long breath out. Oh, yeah, it happens to Mayor. It's not a big deal. And after the first kind of in and out, you try again after a few moments. And again, it's like labored and slow, but quite quickly, based on your rolls, you're able to transition to this in and out. The Mayor doesn't like it. And you all find yourselves kind of almost huddled around in a sort of starish position at a depth of about 10 feet. The ground slopes slowly away. It's quite a large lake. And you are free to attempt to traverse it in any way you see fit.
I wanna
Well, we're
use-
going to follow Sergeant, Captain, Major.
I want to use the message cantrip.
Okay.
Look over towards Aresia and just
I'm
say.
going to nod and point down.
I was going to say I would ask just like deepest part.
Okay.
Cool.
Can I look for anything hostile and like, as I have good vision underneath the water?
Roll perception for me, Nemea. As Aresia begins to swim down, seemingly having communed with Taran. Taran follows her shortly afterwards. Nemea, as you see the rest of them sort of making these like unagreed upon hand gestures that seem to be good or yes, something. You look around ahead of the group trying to see something, any sort of hostile. You see a mixture of fish. There are some quite small, I don't know fish well enough. I want to say minnow, but I feel like minnow are bigger than what I have in my mind. Kind of little grey fish. It's like swimming around. Some of them have slightly more colour. Some of them are slightly larger. And as you swim deeper and deeper, and it takes quite a long time, Vice, I need you to make a wisdom save.
What about some mackerel? That'd be great.
Sure.
Yeah, mackerel.
Sure.
I feel like there's not going to be salmon in the lake, unfortunately.
You don't see any frogs at the moment, Nemea. But you assume that there may well be some in this lake. You saw kind of general wildlife nearby as you were going deeper into the lake. Things like flies and dragonflies and stuff like that, flying around some of the plant life on the way into the lake. As the five of you, collectively make your way down, Vice, you start to panic a little bit as you realise that you're not really keeping up with the rest. You're not really doing the right thing. Livia, with the only one with the highest passive perception, and Nemea, given that she's looking the wrong way, she doesn't see this. But Livia, you see Vice kind of starting to fall behind a little bit and starting to panic a little bit.
And I'll like hold my hands up to tell him to stop, and like sort of do this, tell him to like calm down, and then slowly sort of guide him through, starting over again.
Oh my god!
And, like nod him encouragingly.
This is incredibly like, no pun
Terrifying.
intended, thrown into the deep end. Do you know what I mean? For me, for Vice's character.
I've never swam before. Well, you're going to dive straight under the water. It's a giant lake.
Okay.
No
Cool.
paddling for you.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm going to get him to stop and like try and get him to calm down and slowly start moving his arms and then like encourage him to kick his legs. And
I haven't quite got this whole buoyancy thing, so I'm still kind of, I've got no control.
I'll reach out and like hold his top and bottom half, like how you do with a child to get them to learn to like balance on top of the water, but in it. I
So
get him to like do his arms.
So embarrassing.
Semi-detour. How did Vice get over the river when everyone was trying to get to Aegis that one time?
Paddy.
Didn't we use like a rope or something stupid?
It was a
we
very
did something
elaborate
ridiculous.
teleporting and rope system. It was very long.
It was
They also did his
ridiculous.
teleporting
And
and
then
gave the mayor the ring. That
Yeah,
was what
it was just crazy.
Teleportation and ring use.
Did you say you were looking back every now and then, Aresia?
I was going to say was every few minute or so, every couple of minutes, I'm going to keep looking back to make sure the group are falling behind. So when I see them,
You'll be able to see where my shield is, like because of the bright light and how far back.
so when I
roughly.
see Livia and Vice slowing down and stopping, I signal to Taran to stop and wait for them.
Okay. By the
As I
time you
look
notice,
behind-
go on, Taran.
As I look behind and see the gigantic light beaming off of Livia and looking at the other two, I'm sort of like, they don't need that light, and I'm just going to make just the two lights in front of me and Aresia.
Okay, cool. One orb of light that was made by Taran originally kind of floats away from you guys and heads back towards Taran and Aresia. By the time you look back, Aresia and Taran subsequently, they're basically done with this little training session, and Vice is able to swim on.
Other motion to continue.
Yep. So you guys carry on down. You get to the deeper section, and those of you that don't have dark vision start to basically only have the surrounding light globules. You're deep enough now that you can't really see the surface so much. You can see the glint of the sun from beneath upwards on the top of the water, but it's quite dark at this point. You can tell that if you carry on going deeper, that's not going to be a visual for you anymore as you get too deep to sort of see that. The light that you have around you is also making it quite difficult to discern that light up there. But ultimately, your job was to go throughout the entirety of the lake. So you were expecting to go deep enough that you wouldn't be able to see the surface anymore. And just as a result of your natural kind of buoyancy, you can essentially figure out which way is up easily enough. Is there anything you guys want to specifically do as you're heading deeper and deeper?
Just want to look to see if anything
Yeah.
notable shows up.
Everyone roll investigation for me, please.
17.
Oh, that's +6, 25.
3.
Is that everyone? That's everyone, isn't it? Yep. So, Livia, you see something...
I found moments!
What? Oh,
Sorry.
no. You see something kind of glinting off into the distance. Under some sort of... just like loose rocks and build up. It's on the like slow gradient that leads deeper and deeper.
Have Aresia and Taran gone past it?
Yes.
How close am I to it?
20 feet-ish. You guys are kind of following the ground down.
Okay, I'm going to signal to Vice that and point to sort of just say, like, I'm going over here, and I'm going to go over towards it.
Okay.
Okay.
As I would have been checking back every so often, I'm going to see Livia go elsewhere. I'm going to just tap Taran to stop for a moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Livia, you swim towards it. I would say before you turn back, Aresia, if you're checking back every 2 minutes.
Yeah, every minute.
Livia.
Yeah?
Fucking hell.
You said you go towards it.
Yeah, so what is it you want? Are you happy to swim over? You want to try and loose it? Yeah?
That's what I said.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. I mean, you didn't say anything. That's why
I said I
Such a
want to
baby.
go to it, and you said
Okay.
you go towards it. So I was like, okay.
So you managed to loose it from the rocks, and you seem to have a like quite nicely inlaid start of a blade. But about a third of the way along the blade, it's been snapped off essentially. But the hilt is kind of golden and quite shiny. It looks possibly expensive.
I take it.
Okay.
Somehow, like, slot it into something on me so that I don't drop it.
Okay. You don't have your pack on you, so I guess
No,
you're
but I
gonna-
must have had something to be able to hold my potions or something, right? Otherwise,
Uh,
I'd be holding all my weapons and my potions
Yeah,
in
I
my
suppose
hands.
you are bringing some sort of bag, backpack, pouch-esque thing then, if you are carrying all of that, because my understanding was everyone left their backpacks behind.
I left all my stuff behind, but I've brought 7 potions with me
Okay.
and all my weapons and shields and stuff. So I assumed I still had them in a bag. I just emptied everything out of my bag.
Right, so you emptied everything out of your bag and then brought your bag.
Yeah, I said I left all my herbs and all my bust
Okay,
and all that
fine.
stupid nonsense because I brought all the potions. I had loads.
Cool.
Oh, the bust.
So you
Hey,
put it in
I
your
like my
backpack
bust.
with the rest of the thing.
Go back.
Carry on swimming.
I'll swim back over to Vice and join the queue.
Yeah. You all collectively swim for a solid hour, hour and a half. Can I have everyone roll investigation again, please?
Wouldn't our
Our
breathing...
potions run out
Oh,
after an
sorry.
was
hour.
a
Yeah,
problem.
I've got the timing off in my head. Forgot about the potions. So you collectively swim for about 45 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Investigation.
Yes, please, investigation.
8.
That's all of it.
Is that everyone's investigation again? Yeah.
Yeah, everything from the 7 down.
Thank you. So, about 45 minutes in, you are at some of the deepest parts of the lake. So much so that swimming straight back out again, and this has been with like looking around every now and then, searching under things and trying to swim down past bits to try and see what you can see, maneuver around some fish. There's some larger, well, there's still fish that are sort of somewhat in the way that you're maneuvering around a little bit. And eventually you realize that heading straight back at this point is going to be, you're going to be right on the edge. of your breath, essentially, because you can hold your breath a number of rounds equal to 1 plus con, I believe.
If we went straight
Number
up,
of minutes, I think. Say that again.
if we went straight up, would it be the same length of time rather than going back the way?
That's with you going straight up, just trying to surface, essentially. Livia and Taryn, the two of you see what seems to be a kind of cavern, and that same sort of light effect on the surface seems to be possibly just about coming from within this cavern somehow. So rather than it just being entirely dark, it's as if
Like
there's
an
some sort
underwater
of
cave that might go up and have another
wrap round, like U-bend style. It's quite close to where you are. I'd say you're about 50 to 100 feet away from it.
Can I try and maneuver my shield to sort of flash my shield so that the light points at where it is to make the others aware of what I'm seeing? And
What did you say, Taryn?
I was going to say, as soon as I see it, I would turn around, point my finger, and use the message cantrip to speak with Livia, predominantly, and just be like, Cavern? Something? See something?
She's kind of flashing her shield towards it at the moment.
Can I reply with message, or does it only...
Yes, there is a singular response
Oh, okay, cool.
that you can do.
Yes. How many do I get a certain amount of words?
One, by the sound of it. Suppose there's a target, and only the target hears the message can reply in a whisper that only you can hear. No, it doesn't seem to be massively limited. I would say a sentence.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just say, yes, you take Aresia, I'll take these guys.
Cool. I'll just sort of...
And I'm going to flash
Just-
my shield at Nemea and Vice to get their attention, and then point at
I follow.
them two and shine my light at them and just sort of motion that we're going that way. And I'm going to let them both go slightly ahead so I can bring up the rear and so I can check that Vice is okay.
Yeah, as I can see, I try and head forward.
Back.
Okay.
Back.
Cool.
I'm
So-
going to look up just nervously at the where I think the surface is, and then plow on, following them toward the cavern.
Cool.
Or leading them, I guess.
Taryn, you swim past Aresia, and it's then Aresia that you kind of pick up that the group is heading a specific direction. And eventually, Taryn, you make your way through to this cavern entrance. It gets a little bit deeper as you go down there, and you think you're kind of like right at the start of the more purpley outline.
Yeah.
Well, let me put this on here. About there-ish.
Yeah.
As you get close to the bend, you can see there is that sort of light effect that there was before, about another 20-ish feet up from you. And the rest of them eventually gather around you, that you can all see this above you.
I would then just sort of look towards Aresia, use the message cantrip again, and go, shall we?
I'll just do a slow nod.
The hair sort of going like
Yeah,
this,
the hair, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So as you all swim up, you surface from the water with about 5 minutes left on your spell, on your potions rather, and any subsequent spells that were cast around the hour mark. You are able to breathe the air again, and as you do take in a breath of air, you end up coughing up a lot of the water that you were otherwise breathing. And it's probably as awkward as it was when you first sort of switched over.
Oh god, this spell's much easier than this. Ugh.
Yeah.
I
I
was
don't know why you
guessing
didn't use it.
Because she wanted the lights.
Mm.
As you...
Everyone okay?
Like,
Yeah. Didn't notice anything that particularly weird or unusual, you guys?
um,
No.
I was paying
Nothing
too much
really.
attention to my swimming, to be honest.
You did a
find
great
anything?
job. You
I
did
don't
so
know.
wonderful. You should be
Thank
real
you.
proud.
Thank you for your help. Oh
Well
my
done.
god.
Vi.
Forget about it. Can I investigate the cabin?
So what you're currently looking at is a sort of sludgy edge, that the gradient of which is like slowly away from you, like kind of away and up. You'd have to like pull yourself up onto it a little bit and then crawl up somewhat. It's not a easy footing.
I'll go to do that, and I will ask Vice for a foot up, hand up, foot up, whatever, if he can.
Sure.
Shout to me.
Okay. Sure.
So
I'll give her a help.
give me acrobatics then.
Oh, she. Me.
Who? Oh,
Livia.
I assume it's me, yeah.
And it would be flat because Vice is assisting you. Okay.
Oh, doesn't matter.
Lord.
So
Wow.
as you get this kind of leg up, assisted leg up from Vice, like flapping about in the water and trying to push you, you manage to like almost slam-ish onto the edge, and it's quite slippy, and you just sort of slide down it. There's like a as your metal armor scratches against the stonework, and you fall back in. It's not stonework; hasn't been worked. It's just stone.
I can't get up.
I just sort of look and I feel a bit of almost competitive spirit, so I want to go and have a go at it.
Okay.
See
Give me
if I can get up.
acrobatics.
Cool.
Or athletics. No, sorry, not or athletics. The whole point is the disadvantage.
Dear God,
Acrobatics. With disadvantage.
How high
Ew.
does it go?
About 10 feet. Taryn, basically the same thing happens, but without the scratchy noise. There's more of a like wet, squishy noise as you sort of like fall onto your knee and slide down back into the water. There's a psh as the water
I wanna
displaces and you land
teleport.
back in.
Is this a leg?
Ooh.
It's
Ooh.
like a slow. Let me draw it. So the cavern kind of comes around like this
Where are you drawing there?
on the map on roll 20.
In the middle of you. Kind of overspent.
I see.
As I,
see, I
land
see.
back in the water, I have a bit of an epiphany of like, oh, I know what to use shape water. What things going on?
Before you do, Nemea, how are you teleporting?
Oh, that's a good
Misty
picture.
step.
Okay, so you misty step straight up to the top, and you are standing at the top of that kind of portion where the
And then I
ground
want to
is.
try and help the others up.
Didn't
Teach
know
me how
that.
to
My
do
arm
that.
out, see if I can pull anyone up.
You're not. You don't
Too
have
high.
arms long enough for
Yeah.
this.
No, but didn't one of us bring rope?
I've got-
Can we
I've
not just
got
throw it
rope.
up there to her?
I brought rope, so did Taryn.
Did you say you brought rope, Nemea?
Yeah. It's in
Oh, one. Yeah.
It's in your inventory. Did
Let's
you?
see how long it is.
I mean, you'll have 50 feet of hempen rope. That's what everyone has.
Yeah.
Yeah, collectively, whoever brought rope can either throw it up, or if Nemea brought rope, Nemea can roll it down.
I will throw it down.
Okay. So why don't you all give me a flat dex? A flat acrobatics check. No disadvantage because the rope is helping you.
Oh, this is gonna be bad. Oh, that's not bad.
Okay.
Oh, 23.
Why are you doing it, Nemea? You're already up there.
Oh, I thought it was for like me helping them up. or
Pulling
something.
it, I
Said
guess.
all.
That's fine.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
I did say all. So everybody gets up, one by one, climbing up the rope haphazardly, slipping on the rock below. Aresia, however, slips entirely, splashes back into the water.
Oh no.
Aresia, you take 1 damage, bludgeoning damage, as you knock into the stone, and then climb up successfully over an additional sort of 10-15 minutes. All potions and spells and the like have fully dissipated by this point, and you find yourselves in a kind of elongated corridor that darkens off in the distance to a deeper cavern.
I would then recast Dancing Lights
I will recast light on my shield.
Okay.
for me and Aresia specifically.
Yep.
I
gonna
cast
check in with
precipitation.
Vice, check he's okay, not drowned.
I kind of
Yeah,
dry
no, I'm
ourselves off a little bit so we're not all like freezing cold
Yeah,
Ah,
sure.
good idea.
with
Good
precipitation.
call.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thanks.
No worries.
Way
Well done.
better.
Cool.
Again, teach me how to do that.
So as you all
Not after what you did last night. Mm.
head down the corridor, brightly lit from all the spells, and the shield glowing, you eventually make your way into an open area where you see that there are some like fall off of rocks on either side. Can I have everyone roll perception for me, please?
Perception.
It's
Oh,
great.
no, it's
That's-
mostly
that's been a long
deception,
one.
but I'll take it.
It has been forever since I've done that, yeah. Perception, yeah.
Yes.
We say that all the time. In real
Huh?
life.
What's that?
Me and Oryx say that all the time in real life.
Do you really?
Yeah.
So Vice and just Vice. Vice, you see as you look out into this open area, you're one of the two that has night vision, right? Dark
Yeah.
vision, not night vision, dark vision. Because of your dark vision, in grayscale, you see some sort of runic symbols on the ground ahead of you. You see the two drop-offs left and right where it seems to go deeper down. Somehow you've, without realizing, made your way at a kind of upward incline. You assume there's water at the bottom of these drops, but you don't know. There seems to be something in the center on top of these runic symbols. And I will bring you to the map. Ta-da!
Lovely. Guys, it seems to go deeper over here. And I can see some strange markings on the floor.
Fucky
okay.
cave, isn't it? It's a fucky cave.
Let me just
sorry.
pull everyone on. Unfortunately, the tokens that I have for what I'm about to describe
Oh,
make
no.
them look like giant statue people, but they're not. Oh, I can't angle you well. There we go. God, there's so many of you.
My God, it feels
So
like
many
forever
of
since we've
I
been,
know, it's been
like
such
on a
a long
mission.
time.
Yeah.
You guys spent too long getting drunk session after session.
Yes, maybe so.
We might have a problem.
Yeah.
I
A
only
little
got
bit.
drunk once.
a tad problem, you know.
So these two, I'm not suggesting that they're enemies in any fashion, but I'm just going to mark them with. Let's mark them with something. Is there like a this? There you go. These two people. When I hold Alt to resize
people?
the token, it doesn't. Oh, it did it now. It wasn't doing it before. There we go.
Yay.
Now they're normal size. This one's too small, if anything. They seem to be human women. They are.
Oh, did you see Katie, Amy's WhatsApp? Her laptop's blue screened.
Oh, that's why
That's
she's
why
frozen.
I thought she
Yes.
was just staying extremely still.
I
I did see her move fairly recently.
I genuinely, yeah. Oh
I have
no.
lost the art of staying completely still.
Okay, well, we'll get her back slowly. We've only got 20 minutes left anyway. As I was saying, you see these two women bound in front of you. They don't seem to be... It's not that they're not conscious. They seem to be sleeping. Ah, that's going to fuck Skype. Hang on. This is the one Skype setup we're prepared for. Take that off. Take that off. Yeah, now there's a black box, but so be it. They don't seem to be unconscious, but they do seem to be, at least asleep. They're not knocked out, is a better word to do it. They seem to be bound,
over?
from what you can see. And Vice, you are the closest, despite where I've put your tokens on the map.
So
Vice,
just to clarify, alive and bound.
you're not close enough. But
Okay.
like I
They
said,
don't look like corpses.
they don't look like corpses. They don't seem to have
Okay.
rotted in any fashion.
Yeah.
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 I was just checking
yeah.
I hadn't like misunderstood that it was a skeleton that was bound or something.
No, yeah,
like,
they are human
Okay, cool.
women, from what you can tell, seemingly bound. Vice is the only one close enough to particularly see this. Do you want to do
Yeah.
anything specific, Vice?
I do want to move closer.
Okay, you can move your token. I don't want to fuck with you on an actual map that we might do something with.
yeah.
So
Sure.
I
sure.
would follow
Sure.
just behind.
Um.
Quite nicely.
And I will shout out to the guys that there's people here,
I want to
and
watch the rear.
I move
I'll
closer
turn
to them.
okay,
Whoa, Vice! Don't get too close.
Okay, I'm here.
As you shout that back, Vice, they seem to stir. I feel like they're still too big. Oh, there's Amy coming
yeah.
back.
Are you okay to listen at this volume?
We can see you again if that helps.
Can we?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear.
Yep.
You.
Great. Okay, I can
Oh.
sort of hear you guys are quite faint, but I can carry on. Can you pass me one? sorry. Hi.
Cool. So, Amy, for your benefit, you have 2 women in front of you. Vice is the closest one. They're both bound. They seem to be alive, but possibly asleep. Vice just shouted back to the group, basically describing that. And as you shout back, Vice, the one closest to you seems to stir and begin to kind of wake.
Yeah.
And then I need to check my notes. At this distance, you can see that they're also gagged.
Okay.
In the...
What's going
Yeah,
on
that's
here,
what you can
man?
see from here.
Okay.
Have I noticed this either?
Yeah, I'd say you could see that
I
they're gagged as
immediately
well.
want to
That's
just
not a
pull out
thing.
my
Of, yeah.
quarter stuff.
What? Here it is.
I want to cast Find Traps.
Yeah, I have a spell called Find Traps.
Oh, I was not aware of that. What does it do?
Sorry, like you guys were talking. I was trying to not
Yeah.
interrupt.
No, that's
Alright,
cool.
go.
I've just never heard
I
of
just
it.
invent a new
I've
spell.
done it before.
Oh, Amy seems
Long
to have
time
frozen
ago.
again.
I've dropped out again, so I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
What's going on?
So it's instantaneous, costs
Tiny
an
addict, yeah,
action, 120 feet. So you sense the presence of any trap within range that's within line of sight. A trap for the purpose of this spell that includes anything that inflicts sudden or unexpected music considered harmful.
You're talking through the bits that I need to know. A trap would be what? Sorry.
A trap for the purpose of this spell includes anything that would inflict a sudden or unexpected effect you consider harmful or undesirable,
Okay.
which was specifically intended by such its creator. Thus, the spell would sense an area affected by the alarm spell, glyph of warding, mechanical pit trap, but it would not
Okay,
reveal a natural
cool.
weakness in
Okay,
the floor and unstable feeling.
Yep.
It reveals the traps present. You don't learn the location, but you do learn the general nature of the danger posed.
Cool. No traps found.
Cool.
Okay.
careful!
That's only information you have as you shout this out to the group.
I don't. I kind of switch off from the guys for a minute, and I just go. I see the woman that's in trouble, and she's got a gag in her mouth, and I just go close to her, and I take the gag out of her mouth and check on her.
Okay.
Basically.
Taryn, roll perception for me, please.
Cool.
Ah.
Yep.
Don't open on the right screen. Good.
Ugh, 9.
9. Okay, cool.
You die.
Taryn immediately falls into the trap.
I've checked
Hey, no.
the traps.
But not this one.
It's a trap-free zone.
So, Vice, as you reach
Yes?
in close, did you say you moved the gag?
I removed the gag, and I'm
Removed the
going to
gag.
ask her. Yeah.
Okay. So you go to ask her, presumably like what's going on, what she's here
Yeah.
for,
What's
whatever.
going on? Like, are you all right? What's going on here?
Yeah. She looks up at you and she just goes, "Oh, it's been so long. We wondered if anyone would come. We're glad you have." And then quickly, her arms, which were bound behind her back, move with such a speed that you're not really ready for. Taryn's kind of looking at the back of the cave at this point, the only one closest enough to really do anything about it, and she stabs you in the side with a dagger.
What?
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 And you take
Fucking bitch.
5
What?
piercing damage.
Do we all
really
see
fast.
this?
That's okay.
Everyone sees this as their forms, both of them, their forms change. Neither of them actually bound or gagged. The gag that you moved aside felt physical, but as you look back and her form begins to change, you see that there was no gag there at all. I'm forgetting how to get to the GM layer. There we go. And then we have
Fucky
Da-da-da.
cave. It's a fucky
One here.
cave.
one here.
Oh, the fuck are you?
As these two creatures, Vice, she's pulled you forwards a little bit. You're going to have to get closer to ungag her and everything.
Oh my
I'm going to make
god.
these just a little bit
I imagine
bigger.
I would have followed but gone to like here.
Yeah,
Just
that's
get
fine.
there.
Yeah, nobody else said they were moving, so I'll leave everyone else where they are.
Oh, I was gonna. Oh, sorry. Fine.
Like
This is all happening in quick succession. Nobody said like at the same time I want to move. All
No,
this.
like-
It's quick shit. So Vice, you take this damage. She stabs into your side. The dagger pulls back out. Their forms change, and we need everyone to roll initiative.
Hell yeah.
Hey!
But
Shit, 15
I
minutes
think
left.
we'll probably kill it a little bit early because there's no point really starting anything outside of getting the initiative clock done. And if somebody wants to record initiative, that would be nice.
Yeah.
I'll roll their initiative as well.
I guess put it at the end of the recap.
Yeah. Who was it? Livia doing the recap.
Raw 316s.
Hell yeah.
There's Terrence. There's a Vice. Astros can go away. There's Nemea. Here's Livia.
Oh my
There's
god.
Arestia. Right, Vice, what was your initiative?
16.
Taryn.
16.
Nemea.
8. Hey,
Livia?
that was my line.
16.
Arestia?
Is dead. Screen
Or she
boost.
DC'd. What did she roll? She hasn't rolled anything because she's dead.
No.
Okay, that's fine. I will roll for her. Does anybody know her plus? Well, I rolled a 19. I think I can put words in here, so I'm just going to put 19 plus, and we'll figure that out later. Or next time, rather. Just kill the cam switch over there. I will roll their initiative. That's a nat 20.
Not allowed.
22 for this one.
Is this
Get out of
allowed?
Oh, freaking
That's
hell,
like the
wow.
only like important roll I've rolled all session, and it's a nat
Oh,
20.
shit,
I'm quite
I
happy
don't
about
see
that.
the turn order.
And this many's
I'm up. Oh,
cool. So that is initiative done. I'm gonna print screen and try and save that. But yeah, if you can add it to the notes and all the rest of it, that would be good. And then I guess we'll kick off combat next session. Thank you very much for
Yay.
watching, various stream people.
Alright guys, sorry we took so long to get here.
thanks, guys.
I've had this written well because I planned all the things when you guys picked your own mission to start with. This has been written for a long time, but yeah, probably thought you'd get there about a full session earlier than you did, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Now you got here with a much better bond to Kristen than you had before. So
Yes.
Hell yeah.
thanks for
Always
watching, people.
better.
Thank you very
Goodbye,
much. I'll see you
stream.
guys. See you
No,
guys.
it's probably
Bye,
not better.
Steve.
Bye, stream.